live with Mr. Kelvin Francis, but we will still talk with him and myself and Atlee, as we normally do during the course of the program. We normally just have a chit chat with each other, you know. Atlee, we are on. Good evening to you, Atlee.
Good evening. It's a pleasure. Tonight?
Didn't see you for 2 weeks.
But very busy. I was lecturing, I must let you know. I was called to lecture the principals in leadership and the law in education. So I did 2 weeks with the Dominica Association of Teachers. It was very interesting. We had over 120 participants, you know, doing different aspects of education. We had education and leadership, education and the law, AI, we had music, we had classroom management, all those aspects of education.
What interested in me the most is AI. What's that about?
Well, artificial intelligence.
I know it is. What that?
But I was
are
in
you?
the
Are you?
lecture.
Do you all have the intention from the Ministry of Education to use AI to start teaching children?
Yes. Yes, we have the green lights.
We have the green light to use AI to teach children.
Well, yes, we can use it as a tool.
Okay, as a tool, that's different.
Using it as a tool.
So we have the technology as a tool, but we are not excluding the human resource.
No. After all, man, we're just using it as a facilitator.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to get the students familiar with it, and not only that, to get the students familiar, which some of them are already into the business. The teachers were being trained to do that as well. They're very fascinating.
This week, we heard of several people passing. One is a leading businessman in Dominica, Mr. Gary Ed. You heard of that, right?
Oh, yeah, I mean, he was my friend. I knew him. Don't forget, I used to be assistant principal in Girardale, and he lived in Eggleston. This is why, so I knew him. And not only that, he was a very good friend of mine and also a very good comrade of my good friend who did deceased, Sogo.
Yes, he and Sogo, very good friends.
Very close, you know.
Yeah.
So many times I went up to his office, you know, and we spoke. When we needed some assistance, I always went to him. When I was in the field of education, we had programs to do. And he was always very good to us.
We also heard of the passing of the chief prison former, Mr. Blanc.
Well, Blanc and myself were very good. I knew his father. Of course, his father was the chief prison officer at one time. And I know he was very good to a very good friend of mine. We call her Jin Jin.
Mm-hmm.
Blanc, you know. So I knew Blanc very, very well.
Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, he has a child with Jin Jin.
Yeah.
And and was married to Jin Jin.
That's right.
Yes. And I heard tonight of a good friend of ours, Michael Timothy Chocho.
Yeah,
normally used to sell clothes on the roadside and so on.
Well, we always bantered.
I was just saying so to someone tonight.
He was a hard you and took us party.
Yes.
And I always put blows on. We always clash.
Yeah, we always clashed. Two of us.
Anymore, but we fire words at each other.
Well,
when we meet you,
we wouldn't fire words, but we normally have this exchange.
Oh man, we were hotter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he had a little place there. He stays close to Finns Lane by
yes.
In the little shop there.
King George V Street?
Right.
Uh-huh.
Around the area there, yeah. And boy, he was always a hardcore UWPite, man.
So I can imagine Robin will miss this guy very much because he's
very
good friends.
Very, very good.
Yes.
He always was anti-labor, man.
Yeah.
So, but we were good friends. He had his house up there in Emsall.
I understood that he passed in the U.S.
Yeah, he passed in the U.S.
This week, Kelvin, normally that's what we do. We speak.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to make note of it, that we speak for about 10 minutes,
10 minutes
before we get into the meat of the program. So we'll be with you in a while.
Right, yeah.
Just no problem. Thank you very much.
But let me throw one at you.
Yes.
I heard there was an accident. I heard Oprah was involved in an accident.
Yes, he's better tonight. I understood someone. I asked
if somebody
someone,
died, I heard?
A young guy, 48 years, from Maho, passed for that accident.
What happened to Oprah?
Well, I'm not so sure. I'm not going to...
Yeah, well, I heard, is he released from the hospital?
That I don't know.
Because I was waiting for the show on Kyrie this afternoon, but I noticed he only played music.
Right.
But then I learned that he was involved in a head-on collision.
Yes, yesterday.
Somewhere in Jimit.
Yeah, in Jimit, on the highway.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, but some guys succumbed to
To his injuries.
To his injuries. That's sad to hear. Just want to say to the family that we are sorry to mourn your loss. But that is what life is. We come and we go. Sometimes, the people that are here pass. Sometimes you tell yourself, just continue doing good if you're doing good. If you're not, start doing good. Because we are all would like to get to heaven.
Well, let me tell you what Shakespeare say. We are all players. Make our entrances and then we must make our exit. Meaning that you're born and you must die. So life is a stage and we must play our parts. Whatever good we can do, let us do it. For we'll never pass this way again.
What the international world is saying, what the international stage is saying, Donald Trump, Putin, Benjamin, also China, what are you hearing in the international world?
Well, I mean, when you think about the whole international business, all these wars you're hearing about, when you break it down, it's more finance, China is a rising power. Now, when you hear the Americans talking about China and Taiwan and those areas, it's to slow down China's economic growth, When you hear about the war in Ukraine and the financing of Ukraine by European powers and the United States, that's economics,
As you said that, it is strange that Donald Trump said that within days of he getting into power, if given the opportunity, that the war in Russia would stop. I think now he is saying that Putin is a crook.
My brother, it's all been driven by what we call the industries of war. If you have war, you must build machines of war. So there's a whole big industry, a war industry in the United States.
We are hearing about trade.
Commerce. Because remember, trade and the routes are very important in terms of commerce. You hear about the routes in the Mediterranean. You hear routes in Suez Canal. You hear about the Panama Canal. You hear about the Red Sea. All these are sea routes. Very important. And you hear now the Houthis talking about Israel and ports and closing the Straits of Hormuz. All these are economics, to cause goods and services to increase,
So hearing Donald Trump speaking about trade embargoes on various countries, or trade taxes on various countries, what do you read in this?
Man, it's just commerce, business. It's money making, man. Don't worry about it.
So it's not an issue of making America great again?
It's money making America great financially, man. Money. Money runs the world, man. Come on, let's be real. All this embargo on taxes and you're hearing that is more or less big businessmen in the American government want to make millions, billions.
You think the United States want to make money on the Caribbean, putting 10% tax regime on us?
What do you think it is? Of course it's money.
But what do we have?
Well,
what do we export?
It's not that we're
to the United States?
exporting. It's the relationships with countries that the United States feel that we should not be with. And let me call them for you. Venezuela, China.
But you talk about Venezuela. The United States have trade with Venezuela. A lot of the oil companies of Venezuela is in the United States.
My brother.
China has a great relationship in terms of trade. When you look at the trade regimes that is placed in, China, yes, is involved, but when you look at the percentage of the Chinese, it's less than that of...
I hear that. But China, Iran, South Africa, you know what they're talking?
BRICS.
You know what's BRICS?
Yes.
Is a new economic power, which
they are the strongest economic power.
Well, because they are the most people in the world.
Yes.
Between China, India, Russia.
They have much more countries in the BRICS than that of much more countries in the BRICS in reference to oil, which still controls the world's economy over that of the G7.
But the BRICS will be challenging the United States dollar, because you can trade like bartering. You can pay for your goods through bartering.
Well, we saw that in the Ukraine war, where The Russians decided that you have to use our dollars to do trade first. We saw that in India.
Yes.
Indians said that you have to use the pearl to do business first.
Yes.
So
You
we have
use the-
already seen it.
And what did the Russians say? Rubies?
Rubies.
Right. So
Yeah.
you trade in rubies,
Yeah.
not in US dollars, because
Right.
basically the trade was more or less, international trade was done in United States dollars.
Yes.
But now fellas are thinking in terms of, because most of your money you have to pass through the Bank of America.
Mhm.
And fellas don't want that kind of thing because you can play some bagos. So it's very interesting. But before we go, let me just look quickly inside. This gun business, you see that Mr. Skerritt has unveiled 7 points
Yes.
about dealing with that business about guns.
Very important, eh?
Do you notice that the amount of shootings been taking place in the capital?
You talk about Roseau?
Yeah, well, when I talk about the capital, I talk about Roseau, man.
Uh-huh.
Broad daylight.
Mhm.
Come on. So, and I hope that this is not a business of talk.
Well, I don't think...
Right, no,
I don't
no,
think-
no.
yeah, okay, go ahead.
I want to be very honest with
Mhm,
you, and
mhm.
that's my views.
Mhm.
I hope it's not talk. If we talk in the talk, then we must walk the walk. It not must be political expediency. It's time we call it as it is.
I heard
The
the,
talk,
I heard
the
the
PM
Jamaican...
talk, the PM talk. That talk
Uh-huh.
is a big talk.
It's a heavy talk.
It's a heavy talk.
Mhm.
I want to see whether he has the balls
Uh-huh.
to put the talk
Well,
into
it's not,
action.
well, it's not him. He has to get his men that are on service to do what they need to do because he has given that mandate.
Get to work. You remember
Yes.
when Patrick John put his activity in place
Mhm.
for the Dreads?
Yes.
He did not only talk the talk.
I saw.
He walked the walk.
I also saw that I heard that the Jamaican Prime Minister himself giving that same heavy talk, and he said to them, "Wherever you all are, I'm going to get you."
Hear the talk in red. We'll find you. And PM Skerritt unveiled 7 points crackdown on gun violence. And he sounded very heavy. Mr. Skerritt, I applaud you. Now, put the words
Into action.
Let the chips fall where
Yeah,
they must fall.
Doesn't matter who it is,
Whoever comes in the line of fire,
has to get fire.
that's how it is.
Right.
According to Patrick John, it's so it is.
All right, then. Well, we have in studio with us Mr. Francis. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, Cecil and Hartley.
Good evening, my brother Francis. It's a pleasure having you this evening, my good colleague. You know, I used to call him one time. Well, I wouldn't call him that name. I'll leave it to you at some point in time.
Which
Too
one?
early
The
for
one
it.
that started with P? The one that started with P? Is it the one that started with P?
Yeah, he started with P, but don't say that yet. It's too early.
No. I intend to ask him to say it himself.
You feel
And-
free,
and-
feel free.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask him why.
No, well, you can
Why
ask
P?
me, but I just...
I can answer you all now.
No, not too early.
You're too
You're
busy.
too busy. You're too busy,
You're
man.
too busy.
Take your time. Point down, man.
Pontown, Kelvin. We're going to have a very good talk. And Kelvin, I just want to make you know that our talk is heavy talk, good talk, but really and truly, we're trying to unveil the success of people through hard work and where they started in the Lakou. So I know a man like you, Kelvin, a lot of people would know that you came from, or you raised in River Street. And so a lot of people are not aware that you are a Newton man, born in Newton. Go ahead, take this. Tell us.
Okay, I was born in the old hospital. But you know, when people ask me where I was born, I say Newton. This is the normal thing. If you're born at Princess Margaret Hospital and you're from Maho, you say Maho. So
That's
I was
correct.
born at Newton, and at the age of 5, my grandmother took me to live with her because my father had died the same year. And I think she saw in me a replacement for father, and it was also insurance for her later days in life. And it really worked out that way because I was with her all the way to the end. Okay, from there I went to school in Roseau too.
But before you go to school in Roseau, you just tell us your father died. Who was your father?
My father was Henry Francis. I didn't know him. I have very vague memories of him.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a driver. He drove for, he was driving a truck for Makushri Estates. And in those days, when you drove a vehicle, you were a hot boy.
I was about to ask you
I wonder if it had 50 vehicles in Dominica at the time.
at that time.
So he had 6 of us in his Parfeli, Patricia, myself, Mano, and Francis. And I think you know all of us.
I know every one of you. What a bunch. What a bunch. I can tell you that bunch not easy, eh?
No, oh no.
Especially Francis and Pafili.
Oh no. Oh no.
I know Papel is a pepper.
Especially.
But she
not just
died
a-
in 2016.
Not just a pepper. I mean,
Mammy.
Pafili was a loving woman, giving woman, you know. But we'll talk about that later. So your father had 6 children. Your mom, what about your mom?
My mom went to England in 1961. I am passing as the first child because the one before me died. So she went to England in 1961. I think it was a day before Astafan opened. I remember her taking me to the Live Canaway for a bath. And from the time she left and went to England, she never neglected me. She always took care of me. She sent money. I always had school bags, school books. I had everything.
She brought you to Live Canaway.
Yes.
Yes.
Why
In
was
those days,
that?
there was water in the river. Remember,
Ah.
she's from Newton. That's the closest
Yes.
place she could take me to.
Why Live Canaway?
Because they didn't have water in yards like
My
like
brother-
today.
No. Why Live
Yeah,
Canaway?
Canaway.
Well,
know
I
the
would
issue.
not be able to. And I mean, you hear so many things about Live Canaway, but I don't think at the time I remember I wouldn't know anything.
Okay, what is
about
the stories that
time.
you heard? What is the stories that you heard about Live
Oh,
Canaway?
people always associate Live Canaway with superstition and reasons for bathing there. But that's where most people at Newton, Citronia were bathing. My mother's from Citronia,
so let me
not
ask-
the Greater New.
So let me ask you before you tell us your mother from Newton, or Citronia. What did anyone say to you, including your mother, what time of day that you went to Live Canaway?
No, I just remember my walking with my mother and taking a bath on the river because there were other people bathing there at the time. Remember, I was too young to understand anything like that. Yeah.
Well, maybe I can tell you, maybe your mother mute you, man.
I asked
why
too.
you cannot demute you? Yeah, you pay mute, man.
I wish that was the case. Yeah.
You be a mute,
So
guys.
Kelvin, you beer mute then.
Well,
Kelvin said that you
you're
remember
free to say that.
Kelvin said that you remember it was a big day, big broad day.
Big John, you have
Broad
to
day.
be. You have to be.
So you bathed the kid?
Well, of course, in those days.
Your mother
you
used
didn't have
blue soap.
underwears.
Your mother used blue soap.
I cannot tell you.
But
I was too
or
young.
you was too young.
Yeah, I was
but you never
much
asked her.
too young,
all of this,
man.
all what you heard about Live Canaway, you never took the opportunity to say, "Mommy" or "Mama," however you were calling her. Did you bathe me with a blue soap?
Well, I never thought of that, but I'm regretting not asking about her mother and her family because some of them I do not know and I wish I knew them
Okay.
today.
All right. So you said that your mother was from Citronia
Yes, she was. And Jodel.
and Judel.
Because my paternal relatives are from Cochrane, the Francises, and my maternal relatives are from Jodel and Newton. I still have, which one of them? Do I have an aunt? No, I haven't got any one of them alive. Still, all the others have died. My mother is the only one alive.
Your mother's alive.
Yes.
She's still in
No,
England.
sorry. My mother died in 2014
Man, you forget your mother
in
died?
England, man.
Can you imagine the
I
man
was
forget
close
his-
to my mother, you know.
the man
Very,
forget-
very close.
The man forget he is close to his mother and forget his mother died?
Yeah, well.
Those
I
things
want-
happen?
I
Those
still
things
want her
happen.
alive.
I like that. I like that. You want her alive. So now, Kelvin, you said you moved to town. Your father took you.
My
Your
grandmother.
grandmother of your
his mother.
His
yeah.
mother took
Yes.
you to
Live
live
with
in.
her.
Right. At that time, will you live with was your father? Would you have known whether your father and mom lived together?
No, I don't think so. I've never heard, I cannot say for sure, but I don't think so.
Were you born before 1961?
Yes.
Right. So how would your father decide to take your mother? Ever give you the story?
No, my grandmother, my father's mother, took me to live with her because remember my father had died probably months before, and in those days they always wanted a boy child. They always saw in the boy child, and it's like an insurance policy, and it worked out to be that because I was the one with her all the way to the end. She raised me, sent me to school. I never saw hard time. I don't know what it is to go to the country to carry figure. I never had to go to the country. So all my life is in Roseau. Never had to go far for water or to get wood to cook food because in those days, the merchants ordered their cargo in boxes, wooden boxes. And when they cleared it from cost and took it to their shops. They would just put out the wooden boxes. And we as children would just go and pick that up because they put it out for garbage, as garbage. And we would just go pick it up, and that's the wood we used to cook food.
Wow, yeah, that's a good experience. I'm happy.
That's very good.
That the children at that time were actually thinking for their or helping their parents.
Oh, yes, you had no choice. As he said, it's insurance.
Otherwise, you would have to go to Bath Estate to get wood. That was the closest place to Rosa where you could go and get wood.
So when you talk about Bath Estate, cut lime trees?
No. There were always branches, broken branches of other trees in the area, and you could go and pick it up. Nobody troubled you.
That's right.
And I must tell you about Bath Estate too, because my grandmother also she used to pick up limes in Bath Estate. You know, Bath Estate was divided into plots, and people picked up their limes, put them in crates. Then a tractor with a trailer would come and pick them up. They would tally how many crates of limes you have. The one person I know was doing that. He's still alive, and you know him very well. It says it is Mr. Baron on your street.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember
it was a
Mr.
good thing
Baron
you said
very
that because
well.
Mr. Baron, I forgot that Baron was working for Elrose.
Yeah, and he drove the trailer and the tractor and trailer, and he used to pick up, well, he had help, eh?
Yes.
He was just the driver. And they paid them at the end of the week.
Boy, I
Wow,
wish I could have an interview with Mr. Baron, because
That would be
that
good
is
to talk
something
to you about
that
Bath
is
Estate.
something that we need to know. So we have it every year, this Bath Estate celebration and so on. And we have Mr. Baron right there, who has quite a lot of information.
Right next
but
to
the
you.
thing about that, Mr. Baron doesn't like to talk.
I'll get him to talk.
Yeah,
There were only 2 houses in Bath Estate, you know,
Yes.
at the time. The overseer and the person who was his cook, I think a lady called Virgin. She was the mother of... Was she the mother of Ma Baron? Let me see. No. She wasn't. I think she was related to Ma Baron anyway.
Which Ma Baron you talking
The
about?
same Mr. Baron's wife.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So she was from Wesley then?
I doubt. If I am to make a guess, I would say probably Soufriere, because she had a boy raising and he was from Soufriere. They call him Tiato.
Okay.
I do not know where he is. I know he had gone to St. Thomas, but I haven't seen him in years. I cannot tell you where he is right now.
And you said there were 2 houses. I know Helen. She's from Vilcaz. It was where she lives now in Bath Estate. Is that one of the houses you're talking about?
If you leave the Bronx area, there was a house on the left side when you turn to to face the sea. There was a house on the left side. That's where Virgin live.
Well, that's the same house I'm talking about.
Is it?
Close to
well, I
the-
do not know who's living in
Close
it right
to close to the survey for
now.
service
Right.
region.
Okay then.
Calypso
And
house?
Yeah.
Right, and
Around the
lower
Calypso
down.
house.
Yes.
Lower down, close to where the first apartment buildings are by the bridge,
Yes.
there's where the overseer, I remember his as Mr. Brown used to live.
Well, I never
He
saw that house.
represented all Elrose.
Yeah, I never
It's
saw
a
that
big,
house.
big mansion.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
saw that house.
Okay, I never saw that house. But I know this one, the one that you're talking about now, is still there.
It's still there.
You know,
Yes.
still there, well preserved. And
Yeah.
there's a lady from Vilcaz who lives there. Her name is Helen. You know,
Okay.
yeah. So Kelvin, so you are in town now. Your grandmother took you. School. What was school like?
Okay, I went to the Roseau Mix Infant School. I remember Miss Dyrampel as the teacher there, and the principal at the time was Mrs. Shillingford. From that school, I was transferred to the Roseau Girls School.
Before we go to the Rosa Girls School, let's talk a little bit about Miss Darampo.
I wouldn't be able to tell
Is
you
it the
much.
same?
I
Is
just
it the same Miss Darampo who lived in Benjamin Lane?
Right.
Okay, all right.
But not much I can tell you. I'm very young. I'm talking 5 years,
Yes.
6 years. So,
You can't remember
I just
nothing.
remember her
You can't
very well.
No, we can't remember anything in the school in the school yet. That
Well,
time.
yes. Of course, the bigger ones took advantage of you, and there was discipline in the school at the time. You couldn't come in late. That's what I remember about that
So-
school
so-
until I was transferred to Roseau Girls
So
School.
you can't remember the fruit tree in the yard?
Yeah, not Flo. It was what we call the Dons.
Don's
tree,
tree.
yes.
Don's
Don's
tree.
tree.
I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You ever ate the dons?
Oh yes.
We used to call it
Plenty of
Kaskaka?
that. No,
No.
Cass. I'll tell you about Cass.
Yeah.
Pottersville Savannah had a Cass tree.
Okay.
That's the one we used to eat. Yeah.
So you remember that tree?
Yes.
Boys playing the bigger boys will be playing cricket in the yard there.
Yeah, I remember
Right,
that.
you remember that?
Yeah.
And then you were transferred.
To Roseau
To
Girls
Roseau
School
Girls
to
School.
Standard 3 because I bypassed Standard 2.
But
I
that time,
promise-
you bypassed standard 2.
Yes.
So you did not go to standard 2 in the Rosa McTin Fan School.
No.
All right. So you went to standard 3
Yeah.
at the Rosa McTin Fan School.
I think it's because of my grades at the time. They just transferred me and promoted me right away.
Okay.
From Rosa Girls School, I went to the Chateau.
But before you go to the Chateau, give us a little experience of the Rosa Girls School.
Well, I only stayed 1 year there, and in those days, I think that was the last year they took boys at the Rosa Girls School.
I went to
After
Rosa,
that,
I
it
went,
was just.
No, I went to Rosa Girls School.
After that, it wasn't the last year.
No, I went to Rosa Girls School.
I saw one. Then it was the first year. Then
No,
I cannot tell you.
No, because I know the Rosa Girls School up to when it was damaged, destroyed. Sorry, there were boys going at the school.
Oh no! Well, if it's that, I'm wrong then.
So
In terms of whether it was the first or the last.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I cannot tell you.
Yeah, but that's a long time ago, so we
Very
understand.
long ago.
As a matter of fact, I think Horsford told us that in his time,
Yeah, yeah. Boys and girls.
boys and
Oh,
girls.
boys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, so you went to the Chateau. No, the Rosa Girls School was, as you said, where the old hospital was, where the ministerial building is now.
No, no.
Okay, tell us
That's
where
not
it
where it was. It's the entrance to the stadium,
That's what I'm
not the
asking,
big
yeah.
gate. No, the
Yeah.
old hospital is where the ministry was.
Yes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Opposite.
Oh, opposite.
Yeah,
yes,
that's what I'm saying,
yes. So
opposite,
that's where
yeah.
it was.
Okay.
Just long building,
Yes.
and they had I think another building, another long
The
building.
maternity ward.
It was maternity.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I think doctor's office, and they used to dress people. I cannot tell you.
At one
much.
time, it was converted to the Rosa Boys School. At one time, they were in there.
At one time, wasn't there a small casualty for Rosa, Rosa Central
yes,
people?
Yeah, yes, yeah. You
Yeah,
went to
yeah,
get
they used
the
to have the
teachers there.
dentists used to be there too.
Yeah.
I remember washing my teeth there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So there,
So you're right,
and they had the
Ken.
pharmacy. Mr. Stowe used to be there.
And Butts too.
And but Stowe used to be there. So I remember that too.
You're correct.
Yeah. I remember as soon as you enter the building that right to the southern
river
side.
side, to the river
No,
side.
to the southern side. When you enter the building, you would have seen the pharmacy.
Yes.
Oh yes, I remember there was
And
a
Butts was
pharmacy,
there,
and
yeah.
there was this man with a little house at the back.
So Brooks.
No,
No.
no, that's not so Brooks.
There was a-
I do not know.
Shot-
his
Shot
name.
Jackman?
Shot
Shot
Jackman,
Jackman,
right.
yes,
I do not know what he is. I don't know if he was the groundsman or what role he played.
Yeah, he
In
was
the
there
upkeep.
with a mango tree there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
can't remember his
tree of
name.
mango, so I can't remember.
I'm
his
sure
name.
someone will tell us his name on social media.
Yeah.
But yes, so you went to the Rosa Girls School. From there, what happened?
I went to the Chateau. Well, the Chateau has a history behind it because
Yes.
the first year at the Chateau, you had to be clouted.
But
That was just that was the tradition, the culture, everything, and you accepted it. Well, in those days, it's not like now. There's
Delvin,
nothing
did-
you could do.
Did they bring you to the cashew downstairs?
Yes, I went all there. Yeah, and when I was in Standard 5, I was transferred again to the Rosa Boys School, which is where the All Saints University is.
Okay, ready.
Right.
All Saints. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw that fire too when it was destroyed. It was midday. I remember that very well.
I just want to remind the listeners and persons who are trying to view the guests on social media, on Facebook and YouTube. As I said, we are a little bit delayed through technical difficulties. As soon in a while, as a matter of fact, our technician is already starting to work on the matter. So as soon that is done, you will see Mr. Kelvin Francis. Yes, go ahead, Kelvin.
Yes, I was talking about the Rosa Boys School.
Right. Let's talk about Chateau a little bit.
Well, Chateau, I did very well in Chateau. I was in Standard 4. Then I went to Standard 5, Miss Bruni's class. Mikey Bruni's mother was the teacher at the time. And in Standard 4, it was Miss Clark. I think Rennie Clark's
Rennie Clark's wife.
Wife,
Right,
yes.
was the teacher.
Did you
So I
meet
did-
Jose?
Yes. Oh, she just taught me in Standard 4 too. He and both Miss Clark.
That's right.
Yeah.
4A and 4B.
Well, I was in 4A, but I'm sure he taught me because in those days he had us he registered us as scouts and he sent us out to do Bob job. Don't ask me where that money went.
I like that.
Yeah.
But Kelvin, those schools had no, everybody could see one another.
No. The classrooms were divided. They
How
were
was it?
separated
By
by
board?
partition.
Partition.
Well, in Chateau was one open school.
Right, I'm talking about Chateau.
Yeah, Chateau was like that. But you know the thing about Chateau, and in my days, I was always good at maths, counting. Oh, when it comes to that, they would have put the assembly. All these children would be, the students would be on the floor standing, and the headmaster at the time would ask questions.
Who was the headmaster?
I think it was Mr. Nicholas or
Oh.
Miss Wati, Nicholas or Wati, one of them. I think both of them passed at my time.
Well, there was Miss Watley. There was Mr. Israel.
Israel was at Rosa Boys School.
Right.
Yeah, I
and
was
then
there.
came Mr. Nicholas.
Right. And I always, no matter in what class I am, my class would win all the quizzes. I was that good.
Wow, that's good.
I'm not boasting of myself, but it's still like that up to today.
No, at Rosa Boys School, who you met there? What's your principal? Mr. Richards?
Mr. Richards, then Mr. Lennox, Mr. Linton was, and his wife was also a teacher there.
Okay, you're talking about Mishak Linton.
Right. So I went to Standard 6 in the Roseau Boys School. Miss Deja was Alex Deja was my teacher. That was the year I started common entrance.
Good. Alex was your maths teacher or your classroom teacher?
Classroom teacher. In those days, they didn't have maths. One teacher taught everything, all the subjects.
Okay. How was it? Who were the students there with you? Who you remembered in the Chateau and in the Roseau Boys School? Who's some of their friends?
I remember Kelvin Philip, Kelvin Romain, who again? Some of them have. I'm trying to remember now.
Okay.
It's a little difficult.
I know.
Yeah, it's a little difficult.
But you had quite a few friends in the Rosa Boys School.
Oh yes, quite a few friends.
You're saying all of this, but I've not heard you spoken of sports.
Well, you haven't asked me, but I am sure we'll come to that.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about your
What sports did you play?
I played football, cricket, but never at club level. I don't think I was good enough to represent a club. Cricket, I was a leg spinner, but sometimes with no control. And I had a little fear of the fast bowling.
The cock ball.
Yeah, the cock ball. And I played football too in the Windsor Park. That was daily. And we also played between the two bridges in Roseau.
So you play social.
And here's the other one, Mr. Adams would know very well. We played draft together.
Oh, yes.
And
Kelvin, did you ever defeat me, Kelvin?
I think you defeated me more, but the reason, whenever you're in trouble, you would delay in making a move. So that got people frustrated. I hope you remember that. Yeah.
That's
like
the
that.
strategy, man.
Yeah,
like that.
that's a strategy.
I like that.
Well, it worked.
Yeah.
Because it's difficult to give that man 6 love.
Draft and chess.
Yeah.
You
I
know.
played chess, but Father Jolly taught me to play chess. But all I can tell you about chess, just the moves. I was never strong
Okay.
in chess.
But you love your draft, I know.
Oh
for
yes,
sure.
oh yes.
Now
Draft.
you-
If I
you-
could play chess like draft, the way I played draft, I would be very
I mean, you
strong.
were one of the feared draftists in River Street. I know.
I
Fellas
was good,
wanted
but
to
there are a
play.
few people better than me. Like you have Earl
Daly.
Daily.
Earl Daly. You had Benjamin, and who again? There was a Sunshine. This guy-
Sunshine used to play draft?
Yeah, but he was a tough fella.
Oh man was a terror. And then you also have this guy who is a lawyer in the States. Peter, is it Peter? Peter LeBlanc?
Yes. It was good.
Yes, oh yes,
Yeah,
Joel's
Peter,
brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joel's
These
brother.
guys
This
were the
guy,
four
this guy.
best chess players I know.
Joel, Peter. Whenever you'd see Peter, he's on a draft board.
Yeah. He was good.
I mean, Peter used to love
No,
draft.
he was good.
And you had another good fella there, Jiwa.
Oh yes,
She
was
went
another
Pottersville.
one. Yeah,
No, he was in River Street. Very good fella.
yeah.
Very
And
good.
you had Gasso, but Gasso was more of a talker.
Garçon. He was very good.
Gasso in Pottersville.
Yeah, that's
Garçon was-
that's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Gasso.
And Benjamin.
Benjamin was what they call in draft pionnier.
Pioneer.
He was the best at that. 1 for 1, and then towards the end, position. You couldn't beat him on that.
Right,
He was
very
very good at that. Sunshine was for strokes.
Strokes,
What
yeah.
you would call strokes. Like he give you 2 men to eat, and then end up eating
yeah.
3, 4 of yours.
And you would not see that in the draft.
In draft.
Yeah,
Would
sure.
you not see
In draft, you don't see that in chess.
You see that in chess.
No,
but
chess
draft,
is one at a time.
Shine had the long shot.
Oh, Shine was.
He
Sunshine
tempts you to
was-
take one,
And then
He was good.
and he expects you to take that one, or else he huffs.
Right.
And if you do not
No,
huff,
he'll
what
tell you,
happens?
make
You
you
have
eat
to
it,
eat,
he'll
man.
tell
You
you.
have
Oh, he'll tell you.
Yeah, of course, because it's to his advantage.
But Kelvin, but I find the other day I was passing, and I want to tell you that the liquor house that have the liquor rental business, Kelvin, how all you live inside that?
Man, it's a mystery.
Which house?
Just Saturday,
Where they have the
rental
fill up the
opposite the All
rental?
Saints on River Street.
That
Oh,
Kelvin inside
yes,
there with
yes,
Kelvin,
inside, but yes, by Julian Bob.
I will tell you how
By
many of
Julian
us
Bods.
live in
all,
there.
all in a liquor yard there.
Okay, just Saturday I was talking to Hazel, Raz's sister, and she tells me that every time she passes there, she's wondering how all of us were living there. The furthest in the yard was my grandmother and myself. From there you had Aya, who was Molly's mother. Molly had children already. Then you have Ra, his sister, just a sister who died very early. I remember her very well, Anura. Then you had Hazel, and you have his mother. Then you had a lady from La Plaine, Norma, that's how we call her. She had children with Hiram Atido. Then you had Miss Olive.
What? All in that
Miss
liquor house?
Olive living there at the back of Miss Olive now. You had Labas.
Oh, Jesus.
And then out of the yard now onto the right, if you're coming out to the right, you have Julian Buds.
Yes.
And then,
And what about Alvin Sarah?
well, Alvin, Aya, Molly's mother was Alvin's aunt. They were not living there. They were not living there. I think I knew them living in Old Street. Right where next to CIS there. That's
Okay.
where they were living. There was a house at the front there.
The lady at the front who was selling the cakes. Who was this?
Miss
lady?
Olive.
Miss Olive.
Miss Olive.
She sold ice cream, coconut cheese, tablet, but every Sunday all the high class people from
Come for
Goodwill,
ice
the
cream.
doctors came there to buy their
Ice cream.
ice cream. That's the tub ice cream, eh?
Yes.
You know, she's
Yes.
my auntie.
What?
As Helen's
Yeah.
sister?
No.
Your father.
She
in
was
christening.
Alvin's aunt.
Oh.
My mother took her as my godmother.
Ah.
So she's my god. How you call it in christening? My godmother.
Ah, I
Miss
never
Olive
knew
here?
that.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Because she had a little shop on the other side as
Right.
well.
And then there was
by
a fire.
Pablo.
There was a fire there. Where
But
she
but
had the
but,
shop.
but Kelvin, we are saying this when you look at all of the various Lacous in Roseau. You had almost the same situation where I lived on Fields Lane. Kelvin, you would know.
Yes.
You know,
Wow,
we had the Bob. He has since then passed.
Yes, I
his
know.
mom had Naomi himself, and John.
That's Lower Downfields Lane.
That's where Hiram had his place where
Diana
Wilfred
was
John-
living there?
Diana Worm was living.
Oh,
yeah.
dear.
So
Okay.
behind Diana Worm, so you had Bob, my mother. You had
I remember Ione.
Stephen Ione was living
My
there.
sister
It
was
was
living there.
your sister was actually living there
Yeah,
with
right.
Curtis.
I know, right.
You know, then you had Miss Mary,
My
and Miss Mary Grandchildren used to be there all the time.
Yeah.
So you had Fletcher grandmother.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, Ted Dilly a little higher.
Ted Dill was in the
and
next
his
door.
brother.
Ted house was a big house.
But
Yes,
let me-
a
let
big
me
wooden
throw-
house.
Let me throw it to all you fellas. When I look at your edifice now and Kelvin edifice, for where you fellas come out, oh, gee.
But I know Mr. was leading something. You draft you playing, man.
Well, you come out in that
Draft-
little
draft you
Lakou
play, man.
business there. Because, boy, when I see the thing where Mr. raise up, I ball, you know. And when I see where he is now, that's my goodness,
But you
man.
see, in those days, we had respect and there was love. I cannot think of anybody in my yard, my Lakou, getting vexed with any one of us. We had respect. All the older ones had to be called his Ma. Aya, well, that was a nickname. And they had Ma Madeleine, Raz mother, Miss Olive, Ma Norma. But you know who I was scared of? Julian Buds.
Oh, but
As a child, as the
no,
only
say
person
self,
that
Kelvin, Julian
Say
Buds,
self.
fear in me.
Julian Buds, more of Mr. Had, you know.
Yes, it's
Mo-
true. But
most
at the
men
time,
had-
I didn't see it like that.
Everybody was afraid of Julian.
The man was walking down River Street and just swearing for no
Nothing.
reason. Why that man just watch me and tell me, come, I think I probably would fall. But he never did it because I was close to him. You know?
But his tongue was not good.
Oh no, but I had fear, man. Natural fear of Julian Boards.
And rightly so, Kelvin, in that little area, I'm seeing that place, that greenhouse where the ladies used to sell in a window, you know, like cakes and ice creams and so on. Frozen Joyce, if you remember it. That little place there, really, if you have to wonder how you lived, you must be humble.
Oh yes.
Let me ask you, inside that place, all you had toilet now?
It's toilet, now, man. If I tell you about toilet, you won't believe it.
I'm
not ashamed of saying it because that's how I was raised.
No toilet with all
No
those
toilet.
inside that.
Use
Yeah.
a
Look, the river right by the man there.
You have to go and throw it in the river.
River right by the man there at
And
the
the
back.
interesting thing is when I started working, when it's lunch, I have to go and throw that in. And when the people from Portsmouth waiting for their transport, you see people holding their
Kelvin,
just like that.
Kelvin, you're telling me, Kelvin,
Yeah.
that you did this big broad day?
Yes, but that was the norm. That was the normal thing to do.
No, but the normal thing for me in my time
Was it
was I had
6
to
o'clock
get up
in the
at
morning?
4 o'clock in the morning.
No, I didn't have to. I didn't have to get up at 4. It was just me and my grandmother, you know.
But
in the house.
Kelvin,
But lunchtime
but
I had
Kelvin,
to do
big
it.
day?
Big 12 o'clock.
Yes.
Kelvin, big day?
Yes.
And you're right behind.
But she wants. What about water? The
Oh, you understand,
the
right by you.
standpipe was
Was right by
next to
you.
me, but she
Right.
doesn't want that water. She wants the water by book because that water is fresher and cooler.
What is the
And I've
difference
got
between, what's the difference between brook water and that water there?
I cannot. Well, no, that the one closest to us was always warm. The other one she said was fresher, was fresh, and it was also cool.
Wow. Well, Kelvin, you did business.
Yeah, and they had to go and take it. Hazel was telling me the same thing too. She went through that. Yeah.
Wow.
No, I have to come back to the toilet, you know, Kelvin. I can't.
Broad daylight.
Big
Yeah.
daylight.
What about bathing you in the river, scrubbing you?
Uh-huh.
Broad
Sunday.
daylight, you little
Sunday.
boy. Switch Sunday anytime they wanted to do that, they would do it.
So, Kelvin, you inside your grandmother scrubbing you right there?
Yeah, of course. What could I do?
Yeah, all of us. All of
I'm
us.
not even 10 years old.
All
You
of us
think I
got
can?
that. All of us got that.
Oh no.
Even when I went to high school, you know, my mom had to bathe me. Take a stone and rub me,
Oh yeah.
you know. Take out the quass.
That's what they would
used to
say.
say. Take out the quass.
Yeah.
And then after they give you the bovril, right? Kelvin?
And
See
no,
the
I
cup-
never.
see-
I drank Antipa for
Antipa.
worms
Yeah, so you drank that this Saturday night.
before school.
Mm-hmm.
Kelvin, you wasn't afraid of these worms coming out from behind?
And no, I wasn't that scared. I wasn't that scared.
I
of
mean,
that.
that mean it never came out, man.
Yes, but I wasn't
And you,
scared.
but Kelvin,
I
you're a
can't
brave
remember
fella,
having
man.
any fear of
I was
that.
afraid
So,
of
and Kevin, you had to pull them out yourself, or
No. I
it just
never.
come out.
you mean
Just come
you mean
You
you
just pass it.
you passing it that easy?
Yes, I can't remember having any problem with that.
Wow.
Wow, boy, you're exceptional.
Kelvin's exceptional, we.
I can't remember having
Well,
any
we have to
problem.
We have to hold that
we have to
sometimes,
hold that
yeah.
something and pull that way.
No,
Kelvin?
I didn't have that problem.
Well,
Well,
it's exceptional.
A lot of us had to when you get the antipa.
Yeah.
We call it semicota. I said semicota. They call it again.
Sene?
Sene.
Yeah.
You know, the little salt.
Yeah. Well, the Sene and the Antipa.
Antipa. But the antipa was the worst one, eh?
Yeah.
The
Worst.
And
Antipa.
whenever you eat cask,
About
there was
it.
a big tree on the Pottersville Savannah.
Mhm.
Well, that in itself, that is faster than lightning when it's working on you. You don't have time to put off a switch, put on the light, no matter what it is.
Kelvin, just say
That
fix
was
boy.
the fastest purge you could get.
Focus kaka.
Yeah,
Well, that's why they call it
yeah,
Kaka,
that's
you know.
gas. I never knew the botanical name for it though.
I
I
too.
myself.
I too.
always
Never knew.
cast.
Somebody can help us. By the way, I just want to say good evening to Derek Mann. He is tuned. Guy Joseph, Reed Joseph, Francis Allen in Florida. Alita Winston Bowers, she said good evening, and she's in Canada. And also Glenda Shillingford Peter, she's listening. And we have some 38 people on with us at this time. Kelvin, you raised in River Street,
Yes.
and you would have seen. But first of all, are we through with your schooling? Because we spoke about.
Yes, I went to the Rosa Boys School. That was my last school.
Right. No, you said.
In Dominica, when
in-
I went to live in the Virgin Islands, I did my GED and I also did Spanish at the university. But the problem I have with Spanish is nobody to practice with.
Okay.
So verb conjugation was something I think I mastered. So if you talk to me in Spanish, I'll pick up one or two things.
Okay. No, Kelvin, you said that you saw the school, the old Rosa Boys School burn. Big day.
Big day it was.
Give us that story.
I remember coming from work. I was already working, and coming from work, and I saw people running and smoking there. When I reached close by, I realized it was the Rosa Boys School that was burning. But that school was more concrete than wood, but it burned to the ground. There was nothing they could do. They had to break it up and rebuild.
That's like 1973, the about.
About that time.
Yeah.
74, I think,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm right. 73, 74.
Mm-hmm.
But Kelvin, to me, somebody told me you saw the old bridge fall.
Yes. What happened in 1971, the river was about to overflow its bank, and I went to call the fire brigade to tell them, well, of the impending disaster. They sent 2 or 3 firemen, and they came and they were by the past side on the Roseau end of the Easy Low Black bridges. That's the old bridge we are referring to. And whilst they were going across the bridge to Pottersville, that part of the bridge fell, and they never found that fireman. They never found him up to this day.
Wow,
Yeah.
very interesting.
It's like in the river in those days. Whenever you bathe in you're bathing in the river, using the river, you had to be on the lookout. You never know when it's going to come down very big. A few people lost their lives like that. Ladies washing in the river didn't see the big, the river coming down very big, much bigger than normal, and they lost their life.
I just want to say also good evening to David Hector. He's in New Jersey. Roy Seja said that he's watching. Ambrose Thomas. Bro, I'm really late tonight. That's fine that you're on. I'm Lauren Binois. Just want to say good evening to you. Justina Cognet, you are on. And just want to say thank you so very much. Kelvin, tell us what it was like, as a boy growing up, seeing so many people from Pottersville, Kings Lane, Old Street, and Upper Lane, those areas there, and some persons from the center of Roseau not having water and having to come to the Roseau River to wash.
Well, the majority of people use the Roseau River in those days. People living close to the river. That's the only source of water they had. People did not have toilet. I didn't know. Few houses in Roseau, probably Cox Street, 1 or 2 in Hillsborough Street, Kennedy Avenue, King George V Street had toilets. So in those days, people had to use the river because going to school, you had to bathe in the sea, the river mouth, rinse in the river mouth, bathe in the sea, rinse in the river mouth, and then get ready to go to school. In the afternoon, the same thing too. We probably did not bathe in the sea in the afternoon, but we bathed in the river.
I just want to say your good friend Alvin Thomas said hi, he's tuned. And,
Hello, Alvin.
And your niece, Norma Joseph, said hi. Hello, Uncle Kelvin.
Hello,
we are
Norma.
listening. I wonder if Lupu is listening, boy. Gilbert, Signoret,
Yes.
he said that he's listening.
Yeah.
He said, what is Kelvin's surname, Francis? You should know that. I'm disappointed in not knowing that, man. Ra, good evening to you.
Yeah.
Well, Kelvin just mentioned your name for sure. Patricia Del Sol, she said that she's listening from New York. Good evening, Avanel Samuel. And also Renick Thomas. Good evening to you, Renick. No, Kelvin, you're able to tell us about the ladies. But you could give us a typical day in the river, especially a weekend, Saturday, Sunday.
Well, the ladies washed their clothes in the river, and in those days they did not carry bras. So, but that didn't attract any one of us because we had the respect and the manners. There's no way we could be caught watching the ladies, and that didn't even come to our mind anyway. So, you wake up in the morning. In those days, there was no breakfast. I didn't know breakfast. I know tea.
I like
Either
that.
bread and butter, dry bread, or bread and oil, and a cup of tea or coffee, whatever it is.
Kelvin,
There was no breakfast.
Kelvin, I like that.
No
That is the real Lakou,
Yeah.
There was nothing called breakfast.
No
it was
breakfast.
tea.
Unless you make first communion
Wow.
or confirm if you when you confirmed, you would get some shodo on those things. But where I came from, it didn't have that.
No
Oh,
breakfast.
Kelvin, that is amazing what
No,
you're
we
saying.
had our tea. We call it tea. Vinipot di teo.
Vinipot
Once
di-
you hear
yes.
that, is your bread and tea. What we call breakfast. Some people probably would call it breakfast today, but in a breakfast, you think you had Vienna sausage, corn beef, eggs, and all. No, I didn't have that in those days.
Bread and butter.
Yeah, well, bread and butter wasn't that popular.
Bread and oil.
Oil,
Dry bread.
yeah, and butter was cooking butter. Yeah, yeah, and you had to carry wood to light it, and you also had to carry water. Well, in my case, I was fortunate because just me and my grandmother, so not much water I had to carry, and the pipe was just a few yards away from me. It's just for drinking. She wanted the water cup opposite Reggie Book's father.
No, Kelvin, right in your area there was a bus terminal. We used to call it the truck terminal. That's you can tell us what it was like to see the buses, or not that no bus,
The
truck,
Freeton.
the 3 ton and 1 ton from
Yeah.
Vicars, from Portsmouth.
Well, they were all on the riverbank, but from the we called it the New Bridge at that time, and well, there were not many vehicles like now. So just a few trucks for Postboat, Marigot, because the other side between the East Low Black Bridge and the West Bridge, that was reserved as like a playing field for us in that area. And there was this big map, concrete map, from that stretched from the Rosa River wall to the riverbank, the end of the side of the road of the riverbank.
Which side is it?
And
Is it the southern side or the
Directly at the end of Upper Lane.
or at the end of Upper Lane?
Yeah, and there was a fountain in the middle of it. Yeah, and there were cockseeking trees. There was before driving, there was a toilet. And the thing in those days, the toilet, they had big basins that they put under the seat. And every night a truck would pass to pick up these basins and put new ones. That's how they dispose of that waste.
Your friend Gilbert Sineret said, I just couldn't make him out. He just joined late. Of course, I know Kelvin Francis. Haven't seen him
Gilbert
more
knows
than
me well.
40 years, 40 plus
No,
years.
man, Gilbert. I saw Gilbert not too long ago. He was in Dominica. I spoke to him. He and his wife. Yeah.
All right. DC Henderson said, hi, Kelvin. This is Decima, watching from Philadelphia. Nice seeing you. It's been a while.
A long while.
Yeah. So you have quite a number of people. Ra, yes, he said that you're living in the same yard early on. He said that.
I saw Ra from birth, from day one.
He was wearing pants now, like I know fellas. They
No,
had
in
any-
those days we wore pants, and that's where I got that name, the P name you talked about.
Right, so we're coming to that. Right. I suspect you I was going to ask that one. Kelvin, tell us how you get the name Panty.
When I went to live with my grandmother, she bought me a pants. It was too big. In those days, elastic. I did not have a belt, and it was falling. So this guy, Calvin Boyd, Carlo, and Erickson Polido, Bubul, they started calling me that. But only a few people. It wasn't like something that went on into my adulthood. If somebody calls me that name, it has to be somebody
I know you.
who was raised with me, a good friend of mine from that
What-
early age.
Was your sliders then?
No, it's just a pants. It was just the elastic. It was just too big. Yeah,
Okay.
that's all.
I thought it was for other reasons, man.
No. That's the only reason. Because it never stayed with me.
Ah.
Because if you call me that name, I don't get vexed. If it's a friend of mine from way back when, I'll answer.
Okay.
I don't have to answer. If it's somebody who just wants to provoke me or say,
Yeah.
That's how I got to
would
know the
not.
name, you know. He used to be in the Bronx very often. So everybody in the Bronx is calling him Panty.
No way.
Kelvin.
No way. I lost that name since
No, but Kelvin,
before I was 20.
your sister, co-
23 years about that.
your sister, when she high, she called you Panty.
No.
Brother, I tell
Never.
you. That's how I get to know your name.
No, my sister
don't get
never used to
angry.
call me that.
I'm not going to argue that. Papa not alive today, so we're not going to argue that. That's how I get
We
to
can
know.
ask Frances.
That's how I know. That's how I got to in the Bronx.
In the Bronx.
That's where I get to know the name Panty. But I never understand why they called you Panty. But
And if
here
you
it
ask
is.
her, she would not know.
Okay.
Not many
But that's
persons would
the
have
reason.
known.
Yeah, the few people, most of only Calvin Boyd is alive, and Vincent for Melvin at Point Michel. These
Yes.
are the two. All the others, and probably Canute. Canute is there. Apart from that, all the others have died.
Okay.
No, Kelvin, did you ever see the place where they had the turtles?
Oh yes, I saw that. I remember that very well. I remember I wasn't living very far from it. They were bringing turtles and cows, and whenever a cow would escape, that was fun in Roseau, you know. And they had fellows who claimed they were real expert at catching the cows, and they were. So I remember cows running up and down Lakou, you know. Yeah, and people have to run for cover. We were scared. Of course. But when I say cows, I've seen it many times, but not like 3-4 cows together. Always one would probably get away. They also brought in turtles. That's where Bird Island, when I first got to know about Bird Island, it was during that time. They used to bring in lots of turtles from Bird Island, and there was a big pond in the market, the open spot in the market. When you come in opposite KFC, that is where they kept the turtles, and we would go there and take the eggs. Because whenever they hatch, they lay their eggs, the eggs would float in the water, and we would go there and take it.
Right.
Of course, we're not just walk in and take it. We have steal it then. That probably is the better. But in those things were so different to now. Things you got away with. Even when they were killing the cows, would climb the walls to see them shoot the cows.
Where that?
Right in the market. There was this old store, government, what do you call it? The drugs, where they keep the drugs.
Okay.
Mr. Kins, I think, was the person in charge.
You're talking about the new market?
Yeah, where the new market is.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, and that's where they kept the cows and the turtles. Yeah, but there was also central stores, I think they call it.
Yes.
And Mr. Kins, Alvin Georgie worked there at the time. The custom was next door where next year building is. And the beach part of it was right in front of the market, from the fisheries all the way to the river mouth, but more by the fisheries. There was a little jetty there, and that was our beach for Roseau people. That's where we bathed. And an interesting thing about it, that area, I wonder how many people would know that there was also the Labas. You know, they threw rubbish there from by the
You're talking at the back?
China Friendship Bridge all the way to by the fisheries.
So you're talking about where the custom used to be before?
On this river bank
On the
and
river
on
bank.
the seashore, you know, I'm talking about.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. At the back where Dexter is. You remember that, as you said there?
Yeah.
They used to have a long jetty.
Right, a wall.
Right there, a wall there.
Yeah.
Right. That was the Labas?
No, it's a little, let's take it from Lane. Do you know where Lane is?
Lane or Lang Lane? Which one?
Lang Lane.
Lang Lane, yeah.
Lang Lane,
Lang
yes.
Lane,
From
yes.
there going in a northerly direction
Uh-huh.
was the Labas, and coming up to the French.
So you're saying so you're saying before the market was actually built, the Labas was there?
Yeah, was there. And before the Labas was there, it was at technical wing area. They
Yeah.
call
By the
it
Windsor
Cow
Park?
Tongue.
By the
I
Windsor
can't
Park?
tell you much about it. I used
By
to
the
go-
Windsor Park there?
Right.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But I never knew, I'm hearing that for the very first time, learning this one for the very first time, that where the new market is, that was the Labas was.
Not exactly where the new
no.
market, outside of where they have
Yeah.
they have a wall right
Right,
now.
no, I'm
But-
saying from Lang
right.
Lane, from the Lang Lane, end of the Lang Lane area,
Right.
at the back of Dexter,
Right.
right, going north.
On the
so
beach side.
at the western side.
Right.
Yes.
There was the Labas.
Wow.
And all, well, it didn't have all that garbage like now.
But Kelvin, when they had the Labas, the people used to go there and collect stuff, no?
Yes. Whenever we got to know that Astafan was dumping, especially pig snout, we'd go there and dig that, man, to make mess.
Kelvin, you went in that?
Oh, but we don't know better. We didn't know.
But I told you so some time ago.
didn't.
Now we
No.
need to know if Kelvin was in it too.
Oh, of course.
But of course.
All of us on the area.
And all you went, after you collect that, all you went to smoke it?
We smoke no, man. No, man. What we would do is, we haven't got the flour. So wherever you know your mother was crediting, you go there, good afternoon, Mr. Donald. My mother said to say no half-pound flour.
Kelvin, that's
I
not
would
true.
make a mess.
Kelvin, that's
Because
not true.
no seasoning, it's just salt.
Kelvin. I can't believe that.
Yeah,
You
but
just go by Donald.
but you have to be careful, because if you're caught, you're in trouble.
Cecily, you do that too, man.
Like this man called Mr. Shoshin. Have you heard about Mr. Shoshin?
No,
Yes,
no,
I know.
I'm never.
Shoshin was right by the bridge. When you go after you pass the East Low Black Bridge, there's a little shop there. I think it's
Dupree have it.
Dupree,
Right.
yes. I
There
never
was
that
this
man name.
gentleman there.
That wooden shop there.
Oh, man. The best word to describe him is sauvage. You know what
That
sauvage?
shop is still there.
Yes,
Yeah, yes.
but you
Dupree
couldn't
have
go
it.
in there and say, Mr. Josin, good morning. Do you have caught fish? I don't have. That's how you don't say you. You mustn't ask him, tell him, you have caught fish. You have to ask him, do you have caught fish? Then he can sell to you. He'd rather lose the sale.
Wow.
But he had his customers in those days.
Where
Yeah,
Kelvin
yeah,
only
listen.
pass through, man.
Yeah.
Where,
No,
where?
Kelvin said that he used to go to where his grandmother's Kwedi in.
Yeah.
No, we had our turns. Remember, you have Vincent for Melvin at Point Michel, Vincent
Yes.
Boye.
Yes.
You had Bobo living on the riverbank, Truman. And we used to make mess right between in those days, the Roseau bush in the river.
Mm-hmm.
That was very high. So in all you could see smoke. And we had little boys, we had trucks to go in there and do those things.
Kelvin, not easy. Boy, all fellas brave.
You're only brave. Bro.
We were brave, but we knew that if we were caught, it would be like a death sentence.
No, Kelvin. River Street and Riverbank had the worst boys.
No, I wouldn't say that.
The bad boys.
No, you'd probably look at more upper River Street.
Not the middle.
No, not the middle and the lower part. We didn't have that problem because upper was more crowded. And there
By
were more
Morley area,
shacks.
by Morley area was more
Right.
crowded.
Remember those houses where Molly was living? Those concrete houses were not there, you know.
Yes, it's long houses.
And you know how they call that area?
How?
Kakowel.
Kakowel.
Kako. Oh, very
Yes.
good, Kelvin. That was the name, you know.
Yeah, Kakowel.
Why Kakowel?
I don't know. As a child, I know them calling that area Kakowel.
You mean the kind of houses that was there, man?
I don't have no idea. I know there were a few cocoa trees around there. But
Very
I have
interesting.
no idea. Where Telemark was living, all that was
Yes.
called Kakowel.
When Mr. Edwards, teacher Edwards, Froggy.
Froggy was
Yeah,
high up.
Kakowel.
Froggy wasn't really in Kakowel. It's
Kakowel.
a little higher. Froggy was about a little higher.
So you
Johnson
saying like by Musopia area.
Johnson Isaac.
Yeah, Johnson Isaac area. Yeah.
Kakowel.
Yeah. And there were shortcuts all the way from Riverbank to probably by Astafan. Because from Riverbank you could come to pass through River Street, come out in Hillsborough Street to Kennedy Avenue to Cork Street
I
to
do like that.
Fields.
I like you. I like the word pong.
Pong.
Pong. People normally say we don't say Kennedy Avenue.
Oh well, yes, yeah, that's true. Pong, you're right.
We say pong.
Right.
We say Kennedy Avenue. People get lost.
Yeah.
So you leave Kakowel. From Kakowel, you get across to Hillsborough Street. From Hillsborough Street, you pass in the Dunciad.
Dunciad?
Mm-hmm.
There was a Don Street, I think, where the National Bank is.
Yes,
at the
that
back
they call it
there, around there.
Dunciad. They call it
Dunciad, it was
yes.
called.
Yeah,
I remember
Dunciad.
something. like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So from Dunciad, you then pass into by Lodi.
Right.
And-
Lucia Blaise.
Lucia Blaise,
that
right,
area
yeah.
coming out by Mixed School.
Yes, that's
And you
Pong.
could pass by Michael Peter there.
Yes,
It's more than come out in by Miss Maud in Cork Street.
yes.
Right.
Miss Maud.
Miss Maud was.
Miss Maud was on the other side, so you pass by Rennick and them. Rennick Thomas.
No, before you get to Rennick, you have to. Miss Maud, this building is still there. Where Sandra Frampton has a
Oh
business.
yes, yeah.
That's
yeah,
where you get.
yeah. You pass in that yard there.
You're right.
From Great Marlborough Street
Right.
and then onto
Yeah.
Cock Street.
Yeah, and in those days too, we knew everybody. Once you're from Roseau, you knew everybody in Roseau. But we had our little area, so those of us from River Street in River Street, I remember by the Philip Timothy area, is by the CSA Center there. At the
Boys
old
Avenue.
Group in, yeah, then you had Kennedy Avenue, you know, you had River Street, upper and lower, you know. Yeah.
No, you said that higher up River Street or River Bank, the boys were better. What make
I
you?
wouldn't say they were bad, but because there was crowded, I think that would be expected. You know, all these people living together, they could not live
So
in
fellas
harmony.
you'd have fellas like Diab there.
Like who?
Diab.
Jab was from Daly Sis, I think.
But he lived there one time.
He lived around there. But when there was Howlins and Kipasa, I think most of the Howlins guys frequented Upper River Street.
Cobra.
I
Cobra.
don't think Cobra was in Howlins.
No, I mean in that area.
Yeah, Cobra was up in that area.
That guy that used to work for Daniel Green. What's his name? I'm trying to remember his name. That guy who used to work for Daniel Green. Bad boy during the carnival time, man.
I can't remember his name.
Ruben. Yeah. Ruben didn't shake people like you up.
No. I was too small. I wasn't in this fella's category at all. I was just too small. I knew him, but he's a guy I spoke to very well. But he's not somebody I mix with. He was much older.
So what was the life like in River Street, Riverbank with young
it was
people?
easy. I had it easy, very easy. I cannot complain. The only thing I did that to me was really tough as a child. Whenever there was the feast of La Salette in Point Michel, my grandmother would wake me up, and two of us would walk up to Point Michel to La Salette. Imagine 3 o'clock in the morning, 6-year-old walking all the way from Roseau to La Salette.
Not you alone.
That was tough.
Not you alone.
That was tough. And the other thing again, in those days in the Lakou, we had stones. The yards were not paved, so you had to carry stones from the bayside to the yard. And I took it right by the market, in front of the market on the bayside. That's where I carried. So I probably make 20 trips, carried stones. Every Christmas they want to see the yard looking new.
Let's go back a little bit about the La Salette. I think all of us as boys who grew up with mothers who were proto-Catholics, that's what we used to call it. We had to get up that very early morning to go to La Salette. Even if your face still has sleep in it, you have to get up and go. Tell me, Kelvin, why didn't you like that?
No, how could a 6-year-old walk from Roseau to Point Michel, man, in those days? Like, no 6-year-old would do that. And no mother would think of asking a 6-year-old to walk anyway, from Roseau to Point Michel. So I never enjoyed it.
The rosary, they didn't give you a rosary at 6 years?
I knew the rosary. I knew all the patois prayers. Don't ask me to recite them now because I don't remember them. My grandmother only sprayed in patois.
Give us a little bit of what you knew.
And I just can't remember anything.
Wow.
Another thing she did was she used to make the nets for the fishermen. You know, the one that you just send it across.
The Tuamai.
Tuamai, they call it?
Yeah.
Right. I never learned how to make that.
But
And that's one regret I have.
Your grandmother made it.
Yes, I have that regret. She made coconut cheese, loga. I knew how to make that, but I can't remember now how to make that.
But by the way, your grandmother had a lamp vierge,
Oh yes, I used to light it. And the thing about the lamp vierge, you couldn't buy the oil in any rum shop, It had to be a shop that not selling rum. So if you as a child, they send you to buy it, probably you'll buy it anywhere. Anyway, they're selling rum, but they mustn't. You could not allow them to know that.
You went to buy the
oil. No.
Because you had to have special instruction that the oil had to be bought from a place that not selling rum.
That
spirit,
not selling
no
rum.
spirit.
And
But why?
I still remember how to make it though.
You know how to make the lamp vierge?
Yes, I still remember it. I can still make a kite. I think if I were to try to make a kite right now, I would.
You tell us about the lamp vierge.
Yeah, the lamp vierge, how you make that?
For your 2 pieces of stick, what you call the cocoyer broom, the stick you cut it about 2 inches in length, and you put it as a cross. You tie it, and then you put cork. You know the bottle corks. You cut it in small squares, and you put up in for it to float. You
have to float it.
And you put water in the lamp vierge before, because otherwise you'd have to buy too much oil. So you put the water is heavier than the oil, and you put the oil on top and you burn it.
So all night that burning then?
All night that burning.
Where your grandmother had it in a little place?
She used to keep that. I'm trying to think. Just in the open, just 2 of us, so she kept it in the open. Like a wooden house.
You also remember making cross to put in your house?
No, she had a cross. The horseshoe.
Where she had the horseshoe?
I think at the top of her door. I think she had the horseshoe.
You had that too,
Every one of us has boys.
So what the horseshoe was for?
to prevent the witch to come in.
No, when you're making your bed at night,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Remember, in those days, most children slept on the floor. So you had to brush out all this, and no broom. You take the little mat, the little bag mat that you have, and you must say for them to hear you, Sakila sorti. You do not want to send that dirt, whatever dust or whatever it is, on a job be outside.
Because the job will be on you for the rest of the night. Sakila sorti. I like the way you said that.
Sakila sorti. But I don't regret my upbringing, because there's so many good things. The respect.
Sakila sorti.
The respect and the discipline. Up to this day, I still go to bed between 8 and 9. Anytime after 9, that is late for me. Unless I'm outside.
Hello. Did you ever keep any sand in the house, a box full of sand for Sukuya to come?
No. What I know, Cecil would know. I will not call her name, but Cecil would know the person very well. After State. When she was at the hospital, they told her to put some sand behind the door because she said she was claiming that she was seeing some devil. So they said, for the devil to really come in, you have to check all the grains of sand.
Yes. Kelvin, you want to call her name?
Yeah, I won't call her name. I don't think. Though she's dead now.
I know, I say you want to call her name. I know she's dead, but
She's dead.
she has children too, you know.
Yeah. But Cecil knows them very well.
Kelvin bring back memory, you know.
Yeah, man, I remember lots of things, when I was small.
Kelvin not easy, no boy.
Yeah, lots of
A
things.
lot of things.
But I always maintain, at the time I was born, I still believe I was born today. If you compare the good times, if you put it in today's world, I would be way up there.
Let me ask you a question. You and Cecil ever hear the fellow who tried to pull the hair behind the donkey rear? You never hear that?
No, I've never heard that.
Okay, well, leave that one
No,
alone.
I've never heard that.
Because the person is still alive.
But people talking about that horse show on Facebook, bad man.
What we used to do too, as children, we would sit down on the West Bridge and we would take all the number plates, the numbers, or the vehicles, and if we have 30, 40, that was plenty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know, just a hobby, a habit. And troubling people, that was very common.
Hit old men callot?
No, we never hit. We trouble you for the fun of it, for you to send stones or run after us. But at the same time, there are one or two people, we always believe they run faster than us, so we have to be careful. When we trouble them, we have to keep our distance. Like this, there was this crazy lady called LC. Whenever you trouble LC, you have to run, because we always believe she would outrun us. So we had to keep our distance. It's just like the two policemen in Roseau. There's no way we could be outside after 6 and see this policeman and still be in road. Badman Joe is one, Mr. Lewis, and Caressa. When you hear of these two guys, you have to run. You have to run. There was no way you could be outside after 7, 8 in the night as a child. You're crazy. Well, I was never out at that time, because from time 6 o'clock, I'm in my bed.
Kelvin, I want to go back in the house setting. I like the house setting. I want to talk about the fish sen and the cross that people used to put above the door to prevent the devils from coming in. Did you all did that? Your grandmother?
Well, I know she had it, but as to why she had it, I do not know. And the sen, I do not know who she was selling it to and all that. I have no idea.
No, in the night when you're coming home inside, did she tell you walk back from the back?
Back to front?
No.
Never?
No. Remember, I was in very early, not darkness, From 6 o'clock, I'm inside. Okay. It's just two of us in the house. And the house was just on an open thing with what they call a card. You remember this sheet of Silotex?
Yes.
And then there were 2 holes on the side.
By card?
Not by card, just a card. And there are 2 holes on the side with cloth. So if somebody's in the room, they want to look out. And you shift the cloth. So it was always me and my grandmother.
Mm-hmm. And you had to wash your foot in the pipe outside before you come inside.
Well, of course, yeah. And you had to brush the floor. That's what they said. Not sweep, brush. Sakila sorti. That's when you use those words. Yeah.
Gary, that's
But
good. Bro.
those days were good days too, eh?
Yeah.
Because as I said, the discipline, what I'm seeing right now, there's no way. There's no way any of these young men could do what they are doing today in my days.
As a
No
young
way.
boy,
I
Kelvin,
didn't have that.
did you hunt big ass?
Oh yes, big ass. Oh yes, that was regular, and every area in Dominica that had a little park with a little some water swamp, big ass used to land there.
So what, you had a catapult?
Catapult, and it was in the river or by the friendship kind of friendship bridge. That was our main spot for vehicles. So we'd sit down there during the hurricane season and wait on them to come, because that was, we didn't have to wait for long. The only thing is beggars, the bigger boys, when you see them, you have to say first, second, so you have the first shot, second shot or third shot. But there are guys like I remember Harrison, Pottersville, Algan, and these fellas were, whether you say first, second, or third, these fellas are always first. You don't dare challenge them.
But then if you miss, that's the problem.
No, what happened? You will check in how many you kill for the season.
Yeah.
So if you kill 100, you're 100. So guys would ask you how many, what number do you have? If you're 60 or what? Remember, thousands of beggars used to come.
So fellas, in your time, fellas wanna take in if you miss, take a catapult and bully you?
No, if you go on fire before them, they could do that.
Oh, okay.
To you. And what they call kuwilam too, we had that.
Yeah.
Did you
You
ever
know what
do that?
kuwilam is?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, we had that.
I mean,
you can do that.
Rosary River more Buffalo, so you can get Buffalo to do the Kuwilam again.
Kelvin, you did that?
Not the Buffalo, it's a board we
It's
say.
a board. You
Well,
ever did that?
Oh, the
Like
Buffalo.
surfing.
Huh?
Well, yes, that I know.
The waves coming and you go on it.
So
Yeah,
okay.
how they use how they call it skiers.
Skiers, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
but you
but-
put it under your stomach.
Under the Buffalo we would hold the Buffalo to
make pee-pee.
to make peep. No, but sometimes
Yeah,
we used to
to
take the
float,
Buffalo and
for
just
floating.
to float out. You know?
Yes, and
Yeah.
we used to take tubes down and go all the way Palm Grove and come down in the river, all the way to the river mouth. But you can't do that now. The river is too shallow.
Too shallow.
Too shallow. The only scary spot was Sikwi.
Oh, but
By
it's
the
still
apartment
yeah. When you
because
come, when
we
you,
always
when you,
said there
when
was-
you turn in,
Yeah.
yeah.
Around the corner.
Yeah, we had a little
They're
fear
there
there.
to Wuchet.
That's what people say, and they would get you in Canal Matnik.
Yeah, there and by the market. People used to say by the market and
No, but we're not in the river, in the sea.
In the river mouth.
But what happened is there's like a precipice, when you go out in the sea, the whole of Dominica is like that. It's like a precipice, after a few yards. That's why people would drown sometime.
Deep.
Yeah, you notice how close the boat comes in?
Yeah.
Yeah, because of that precipice. Yeah. It's not all the way. You cannot just walk and say you're going 40, 50 years out. No. Before you're 20, 30 years, that precipice would be there. So you have to be very careful. You cannot swim. But we were good swimmers in those days, having been born on the river bank and raised in the sea and river. We were good swimmers because when there was a tourist boat, very seldom we got a tourist boat, we would go alongside the tourist boat to dive for money. So the tourists would send a dime and we would try to dive, collect it before it reaches the bottom of the sea.
So you literally dive and go collect that like a coin?
Yeah, we were, when I say diving, not that far we used to go, because if we miss
Okay.
it, we would not follow it. We could not go that far. And we're talking about the tourist boat used to anchor outside of where Jupiter is in Rosa, around that
Yes,
area,
yes,
the Kakajab area,
yeah.
that kind of area.
See, Kevin brought back the name Kakadiab. I was trying to remember the name Kakadiab. You know?
Yeah.
And
Very good, very good.
it was before actually they had the jetty by the
Cruise ship berth.
By the cruise ship berth,
Yeah, it's right next to the cruise ship.
Yeah.
I know it as Kakajab, I
It was
think.
Kakadiab.
It was a jetty, probably in the 1900s. Yeah.
And that means you would have remembered the anchor in that
Yeah,
area.
the
there.
big anchor, yeah.
Yeah.
The anchor is still in Dominica,
Yeah, I saw it 3 weeks ago by Patrick.
Patrick
Donkey Beach.
Yeah.
I saw it. I was like, wow! I remove a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you remember too that all the sewage, Roseau sewage, went straight to the sea.
Yes.
So
Street.
so Cock Street at the end of
Yeah.
Cock Street to the sea.
King George
all
V
the
Street.
King George V Street,
Street,
all of them.
Killing Avenue, Street.
Yeah, straight.
There's big holes until when I think Demi Charles came and she
Check
did.
it
Build the
and Kelvin.
bayfront.
You mean all the sewage was flushed?
Yes.
And those
Yeah,
big-
all.
Yeah, all.
But how many toilets were there in Cock Street? I doubt they had 20.
Oh,
I doubt you had
yes,
20.
that's why the gutters were that huge.
But what the gutters always had water, because when school at mixed school, we would make liquor boats out of paper, put it from mixed school, and we follow it all the way to the sea. So to see whose boat would reach first.
First, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Kel, if you stand up on the where they have the Dame Eugenia Boulevard, all the waste used to come down inside that sea there.
Of course, all the streets, but the worst to me was Kennedy Avenue.
Why?
I do not know. To me, it always had water, and that's where we used to fish. We used to fish. Joe just jump down below the wall. There's another wall below, and would fish there. And also,
And
Cook
also
Street
too,
too.
if you check Kennedy Avenue, had about 4 pipes, standpipes. One by the ministerial building, one
by Muma,
by Muma, yes. One by
Boboy.
Boboy.
Yeah.
The other one by
by Green
Ramother there.
You're right.
One by
Okay.
Ramother.
Right.
And I suspect there was one by Cots.
This mid. Yes, there was one there.
Right, so about 5.
Wow.
So
Right.
constant
I know
flow.
this has another one by Whitchurch.
There was on the other
Right.
side by Whitchurch on Kennedy Avenue. So
very
like 6.
But there was a reason why you had all these pipes.
Yeah,
Why?
you know?
Because there were people did not have water, so you had to provide. They did not have trucks bringing water to you. So
But you're saying that Pete
and for the fire, they were used as fire
but
hydrants. So
in
all
that
of them were
in that area had a lot of people living. High up Kennedy Avenue had quite a lot of people.
well, the merchants.
Okay,
So you have to protect the businesses,
okay.
right? I
Yes.
guess that's why they had
And,
it.
and
like
that was something strange, you know. They have going to the west was always the merchant, and going east, you know. Let's take for instance Independence Street.
Yeah.
In those days it was Queen Mary Street.
Right.
You know? Going east, you would have more people residing, and the
It
west
was more crowded,
Yeah.
and the lower part
Yeah.
was reserved for business.
for business. That,
And a few people who could afford had their homes there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Very interesting.
And you'd remember Kelvin at that time. Today I was mentioning to somebody, golden fried chicken.
Yeah, Golden Fried Chicken was in the 70s.
Yeah, you could
Yeah.
you have
And before Golden Fried, there was Mr. Robinson who had a thing. Where Sagikois, they had a rotisserie there. I think Mr. Adams would remember that. Right in the corner there. Where Eli used to call this
yes,
call
he's
there.
he's
Right,
talking about on
rotisserie.
Independence Street and Hillsborough Street.
Yeah.
Right,
That corner
okay,
there.
right.
By the way, Kelvin, all the characters, you remember them now? All the
Oh, so many
so-called
of them.
Marcos,
It was a pleasure troubling some of them, eh?
Boboy, Farrell.
Farrell, we didn't used to trouble Boboy and Farrell, but because we know who they were. But we would go by the market, trouble Kakala, LC, Harold, Makaxida, you had Muzi, Marco, King, Adoti.
King
And the
Kaka.
interesting thing is in the 60s, when Sparrow came out with his new LP, his records, there was a man named Texas. He sold frozen joys, very cold drinks, and he used to play the records, and all the characters used to come and dance, you know, outside of his shop, and people would stand up there, watch it like a show, you know. And Texas was the only person I know who had a record player in those days, and he would play the Sparrow, especially Sparrow, and these characters would come there. By that time, they're drunk, eh? Just like when you had the Wick, the Lavier, you had 2 well-known specialists for that.
Who was he?
Susie Muzi and Kerry Pottersville. These fellas knew every page in the hymn book for the songs of the week, and they also knew all the prayers. So when the person was doing the week finishes, these fellas would take over, but they were doing that for the rum. And they were well known for that. Susie Muzi and Kerry. They were the best.
I know that you would remember Marco.
Yeah, very well.
Tell us about Marco.
Well, Mark was dribbling his mouth, you know. He's also always running water, and that was the thing about it. He wasn't a bad person, you know. People think he just want to come and hold you, and because he's dribbling you, you know, you'd probably want to move yourself away from him, but otherwise Marco wasn't. And he'd probably run behind you if he knows that you're scared of him, but he wasn't doing anybody any harm.
He had a friend too with him. Reginald.
Reginald.
We call him Catch.
Catch, Reginald. I can't think of that person. Reginald. No. I know the characters like this guy, Wolf, a guy from Corleho. When he came out from England, he came down and he used to drink a lot. And this guy was a character, just blocked the road and nobody could tell him anything. People was just scared of him. Just scared of, just like in days of Barabbas and Scott. These fellows were drinkers and they would do anything and get away with it.
Barabbas is a real character. Eh?
Character self.
Barabbas. I mean, everybody growing up in my time, we were afraid of Barabbas.
Yeah.
Because you don't dare say something to Barabbas when you see him drunk.
Barabbas and Scott. These fellows were not that bad, but we were scared of them. When you think of it, these fellows were not that bad.
I can imagine that.
Imagine. Kelvin, just for me to go a little bit further with you. I've been hearing stories, Kello, and I said I would ask you that, and now is the time for me to ask you. Somebody told me that you witnessed a hanging. Is that true?
Yeah, in 1973, 4th of November 1973. That was Cadet.
You witnessed Cadet being hanged?
Yeah. And it was sad seeing him walking from the chapel to the gallows.
How was it, Kello?
Yeah, okay then. Well, let me tell you the story behind Cadet. Cadet killed a lady. She was related to me, and I used to stay with her. My grandmother would send me. She was my grandmother's relative. And Cecil would know her, Mrs. Johnson.
She lived at the back of our house.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And he killed her. I think he went to cinema that night. After cinema, he went to her home and he killed her. And I think he had a piece of the cinema ticket in his pocket. And I think whoever identified, I don't remember all the facts now, identified him. That's how they brought him guilty for that crime. Now, because I was raised, she used to look after me. I was raised for her. I used to do her little messages for her and all that. I was given a permit to witness the execution. But again, in those days, I worked with a lawyer. So I was very close to Mr. Georges, who was the registrar, and for the purposes of the hanging, the provost marshal. So he brought a ticket for me, the permit for me to witness the execution on 3rd of November, because in those days they had the jump up on the 3rd, and he gave it to my neighbor, and they told him that I must get it tonight. So he came looking for me, he met me, and he told me he had this thing for me. He didn't know what it was. He said, I must get it right away tonight. So he told me, if I think he is not talking the truth, hold his watch. In those days, the watch was a big thing. So I took the watch and I tell him, all right, let's go. And I was a permit, and I had to report to the prison 6 o'clock the next morning on the 4th. So we went up to the prison again, bathe in the river by 5 o'clock and walk up to the prison. Walk up to the prison. When we reached there were 20 of us allowed to witness the execution. And there was a priest and a not Pentecostal, a 7 days preacher. They were the two people allowed in the chapel, because I wanted to see the mass in the chapel, but we were not allowed to witness it. So they kept us in the yard. But whilst we were in the yard, this magistrate, Bella Shillingford, she was one of those granted a permit to witness the execution. And the prisoners, I can tell you, she had a rough time. The prisoners were insulting her left, right, and center, because from their cell they could see. They were all locked up for that. Only those doing the execution that were free in the yard. So they led him from the chapel to the gallows. He walked up, he cooperated. Now he was in a straight jacket, but people talk about straight jacket and they're wondering what it is. What I was told it is, and I saw it, is just a piece of iron across your chest right here, and the rope at the end tied to your arm. So the most you can do is that. You cannot do that. And he walked up, he cooperated without any problem.
What about his legs?
Yeah?
His legs?
No, I'll tell you about his legs. So he walked up the little 3 steps to the gallows. The gallows was on 4 drums, and he stood on the trapdoor. Before they put the rope around his neck, they tied 2 wardens to him. And they explained all that to us after, why they were doing that, or why they did it. And the reason for that, they did not want him, when they put the rope around his neck, to just run forward, charge, and kill himself, because the the judgment was he should suffer death by hanging. And you hear people talking about if the gallows miss, they cannot hang you. I asked that question and I was told it doesn't matter. They can miss 10 times. The thing is, you have to follow the court's order, and he has to suffer death by hanging. Anyway, they tied the two wardens to him to prevent him from just making that leap forward. Before they put the rope, and they strap his leg now, they tied his legs, and then they put the rope on his neck. At that time, he cannot move. The most he can do is just throw himself down. And even if he did that, he would not get that jerk in the neck to break his neck. So they put the rope around his neck, and the slack of the rope was tied with a thread so that it could get that jerk, when that door opened, and nobody was allowed to talk in that little room. So the signal came a few minutes after, not even minutes, as the priest was preaching, saying the prayers. Signal came, and this lever on the side of the gallows was brought down, and the doors was opened, and with a banger, and then he died right on the spot. He had no life after that.
He didn't say anything before?
No. At least I don't know if he said anything in the chapel, but he cooperated all the way to the end.
What he had over his face, over his head?
A pillowcase. And he was all in white, and he was led to the gallows by 13 of them. I mean, there was seven wardens and 6 policemen, or 7 policemen and 6 wardens.
And who would have done the act?
Well, it was Barbara at the time.
Barbara pulled the lever.
Yeah, pulled the lever, and he had help. He had about 2 or 3 other prisoners to bury him, but they did not allow it. He had to stay hanging for, I think it's 2 hours, they said. And so we left before they removed him. But Dr. Grell was the attending physician. And in those days, the last doctor to come back to work in Dominica, to come to work after graduating, would be the doctor they would send. Just like in those days before, the last lawyer to come would be, if you have a murder case and you cannot afford a lawyer, that is the person they would assign to you in those days.
All right.
And Dr. Grell went down and examined him and pronounced him dead.
Very.
And then we left.
Did you feel any way?
Hmm?
Did you feel any?
Oh, I felt bad when I saw him walking up. That was the only time it really, really touched me. I said, what am I to myself? What am I doing here? See this man walking up to his death. I've seen people die before.
But not like that.
But that way, no. Knowing that he's going to die, I saw certain sudden deaths already.
Well, that was an experience.
Yeah, but that one was an experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
That wasn't his only...
No, that wasn't his only thing.
That was the
Crime.
only crime.
You remember he killed the
I think
mother
teacher
of
Lufa,
mother. Yeah.
But that was something. But when you hear about the gallows, do you used to believe it's something different?
No, well, it's like a boxing ring. I can explain it to you.
How
And
is
something like a T, if you watch man, the people are watching something like that, and the rope is in the middle here with a little knot. Everything is about 6 by 6, the thickness of the post, and the rope is in that. Everything is all
And
spliced.
all you inside that boxing ring.
The what?
All you inside the ring.
Yeah, it's just a little area, not a very big area, and they use tarpaulin to bar the area so that the prisoners could not see.
Very
You know?
interesting.
And I'm going to ask you the question. In reference, I'm hearing some people, because you have had first-hand view of how to hang or how someone is hung. I want to find out from you your opinion. Do you believe in persons who have killed to be killed?
Oh yes, I'm a strong believer in the death penalty, but I would not hang anybody who commits murder. It has to have certain crimes. It should be specified. For example, a guy is troubling you. You probably go. Let's use Lawden's example. I think you all would know Lawden.
Yeah, on
Lawden
Care
had this
Avenue.
problem, and he went all the way to his own. Probably somebody like that would probably give him the life,
And
Yeah,
he got life, right?
Yes, I think his life he got.
Yeah.
But I'm saying somebody like that. But
Mhm.
murder is murder. In those days, when I was a little boy, when you come in, whenever you're charged with murder, you got no bail, And the only sentence was death. So I am in favor of it, but I think
Under
we still have
certain-
it on our books,
under
but it's just
certain
that they're not
situation.
using it. Hmm?
Under certain situations.
Yeah, certain situation. Um, People kill their loved ones because of passion. This passionate killing, not all of them. Not all of them. It depends.
Depends, okay. But
It
very
depends.
interesting, because I never knew it was like that. I mean, I heard about this hanging business, but I thought it was something different. But you
No.
can actually see the guy pulling the lever.
Yeah,
Where you-
he's right next. He's not far from you.
You
He's on
seeing
the other.
him?
If
So
like
he not hiding then?
no,
Like he behind
in
a
the
side.
open view. I do not know if they're doing it now. How they would do it, but
All of all you
open
can
view.
see.
All of us can see each other. As a matter, I could touch Cadet on the gallows. If they would allow me, I could just stretch forward.
So you're right by him there. So
Yeah, right. I mean, it's a little ring, like the size of the boxing ring
So
is
you-
even too big. On
so
four drums.
he falling between you. All of all you there.
No, right. So when he falls, there's a big hole under the ring. Remember, they put drums, and the hole below is even deeper than the drum. So by the time that slack of the rope bursts, and he gets that jerk on his neck, he must die.
Wow.
They explain all that to us.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you. Very interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that many people who are hearing this story tonight from you must be feeling chilled. You know, just listening to you, I had to just stay quiet to listen to that entire story. And it's something really, just trying to view it.
Just figuring it out.
Yeah, just trying to figure it out. It's something gruesome.
And you're right between everything.
Oh yes.
No, Kelvin, you were raised as a Catholic.
Yes, I
And,
was.
and,
I'm still a Catholic, Roman Catholic.
and as a boy growing up, what was the, because I heard people say that the church would not have allow you to carry Bibles. If you have Bible, the church would burn it. All of these things, all of this messy talks. What tell us something that you, as a boy growing up as a Catholic, what you think that people misunderstood about the church?
Well, we did not have many religions in Dominica. It was probably the 7 days, Brooks, which is Church of Christ, I think they are right now.
CUM, yes.
CUM?
Yes.
Yeah.
Christian Union Mission.
I don't think they were Pentecostals. So in those days,
Yeah, they were Pentecostal.
predominant Catholics
The,
who
the,
were
the Pentecostals
probably-
were by the Seventh Church across by the bridge. If you remember.
No, that was Brother White.
Brother White was Pentecostal.
Is it Pentecostal
Yeah.
itself or?
Yeah, Pentecostal. Brother White
Okay
was
then.
Pentecostal.
Right, I remember Brother
And
White.
then after they went up to
where
where
they
they
are.
are now.
Yeah.
Yes. So you had Brother White,
Yeah.
you had 7 days, you had Brooks, Methodist, Anglican,
Right.
Jehovah.
But
Juva.
you see, Catholic predominantly Dominica was really Roman Catholic. Okay? So there are lots of things that people would tell you, like some people, when they left the Catholic Church, that's when they knew more Bible. They never pick up a Bible. You know. No priest ever told them not to pick up a Bible. But when they left the Catholic Church, that's when they knew the most Bible. Okay? Nobody would tell them about the Bible. Could tell them more about the Bible when they left the Catholic Church. But the Catholic Church has always been there, and it has always, to me, it has taught the truth. It is the first and only religion. Why do you have so many other religions? They all are breakaways. Once you disagree with your pastor, or you disagree with something in your church, you go and you form your own religion. Think of how many churches we have in Dominica. They all breakaway ones. They all broke away from the mainstream.
No, but what I find interesting, raising that point as well, I find, for instance, let's say you have Yahweh, break away from the Church of God. What you find happen? They break away from Yahweh 1, Yahweh 2.
You have 7 days
You have the
Advent.
Church of God, the Church of
of
God.
God, 7 days.
You have
They
another
broke
one,
away.
they broke away. You had the one by up there by the credit union in Goodwill. They broke away. So you have a point, because basically they broke away and then they're still breaking away from the breakaway.
You see, and what we teach in the Catholic Church, some of it is not going to save you. It's not going to save you. So if I go to a Pentecostal church, I have to stand when they're reading the gospel. I have no problem with that. But when they come to the Catholic Church, I'm not saying Pentecostals, I'm saying there are so many of, I just recently witnessed it in Roseau. They do not want to observe anything that we do. So why do they come to the church? You know, I see nothing wrong in that. You believe in the seventh day rest, the Sabbath. That's your belief. That's not going to save you. It's your relationship with God. You know, it's like people telling you shouldn't eat that. Some of them tell you shouldn't eat that. You shouldn't eat that. But it's not what you eat. It's what comes out of your mouth.
It's correct. Some 77 people actually watching on Kelvin, and some people are trying to say how interesting that you, in terms of information that you're giving there, they find that your brain has quite a lot in it, and they're saying thank you. The West Indies is playing Australia in the T20, and I think the scores should be 140.
Who's batting?
West Indies is actually batting.
For how many?
144.
144 for 2.
How many overs?
142 for 2. 14 overs gone.
Okay.
Hetmeyer is batting for 10, and Hope is on 48. So they're going well after 14 overs.
Let's pray.
It looks like they'll score 200 runs after the 20 overs.
Let's pray.
I doubt when I'm a lover of cricket, that's my favorite sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kelvin, as a boy growing up, you went to church very often.
Very often.
No, we had some stories of some other people. I want to hear your own. When your granny sent you to church, did you always go to church?
Always. I had no choice.
Did you always put the 25 cents in the...
No, it wasn't 25 cents.
How much?
Penny, halfpenny, 3 cents, those kind of things. But we again, on the way to church, we'd buy Unbreakable. From Miss Henry. That is the lady on the hill.
Boy!
Next to Crazy T's
Yes.
the station there. Yeah.
Well, a man of your caliber, growing up in the church like that with your
Yeah,
grandma.
but you're like a boy, you have no control over that. You don't know right from wrong. You're just living life.
You ever was an acolyte yourself?
Yes. In those days, it was Latin only. And I had to learn it. Don't ask me to repeat it for you.
No, but Kevin, before you go to that altar boy, it is amazing
Yes.
how every Catholic...
Still the church money.
Do you say steal the church money?
Yes.
Kelvin, would you say steal the church money?
Of course it's
Well, it's a
collection.
form of stealing, I would say, but
It's a form of
in
stealing,
those
is it?
days, well, that's a venial sin, man. That's not a mortal sin.
It's not a mortal sin.
No,
It's
a
not a
venial
mortal
sin.
sin.
Oh, there are different categories of
It's
sin.
sin, yeah, in the church.
That one is venial.
Recognize, yeah. You don't call murder. You wouldn't say murder is the same as stealing a box of macaroni at the church.
Okay.
After all.
They have different sentences.
So different categories.
So,
Yeah.
so
But those things are not going to save you. That's the problem I have. I see nothing wrong in people who want to be Pentecostal or whatever religion. But to them, being a Catholic, it's like you're worshiping the devil to some people.
like someone said, religion versus Christianity plus one God, one Lord, Jesus.
Yeah.
That's supposed to make it very clear. But Kelvin, it is amazing, you know,
Yes.
that everyone that I have spoken to,
Including yourself.
including me, all right? I was an acolyte. My mother at that time would give me 25 cents. Said, I'm going to give you 50 cents.
Well, you had plenty money to put in
No,
collection.
remember,
those days.
our age difference is what
Yeah.
created that, you know?
Yeah.
So we had, at least we had 25 cents. And seldomly would all of the 25 cents go.
Very seldom.
Very,
That's true.
very seldom. But because you see, I lived on Fields Lane. I'm an acolyte, you know. I lived on Fields Lane. Going up to the church, you have to pass by the unbreakable lady, Ma Henry. Affine grandmother.
Pashikoko
Pashikoko.
and
And
Unbreakable.
unbreakables. You have to. At my time, unbreakables.
Have they invented something sweeter than
Unbreakable?
Unbreakable?
Never.
I don't think so.
I
Not
don't
one
think-
of the sweets they have today is sweeter.
Than unbreakable.
No.
No.
And Mark, you never give us bad tooth.
No.
It never give us diabetes.
But we used to walk.
Yes.
That's the difference, you know.
Yeah.
Before we walked to everywhere, we went to stock farm for mangoes. Fonkole.
Yes.
We had by Edward Daniel Green.
Daniel Green, yes.
We're walking. You go into the beach rocker, we have to walk in those days. Dance at Galvinage, we have to walk.
So tell us about that, Kelvin, about going for mangoes.
Yeah,
I
we used to
mean-
go to stock farm for mangoes in those days, and we just have to be on the lookout for the watchman, and would pick a lot of Lakou bitter skin. It was famous. Stock farm was famous for bitter skin and mango long. Even Bellevue higher up too, we went there. But I think Bellevue, that was the first place I started seeing mangoes with worms. Bellevue, I think, was the first place. The fruit fly, but we didn't know that. We just knew that mangoes had worms. We didn't know what was causing it. So we used to go there, and even Yam Peace and those places, we used to go all up there. Bath State had no mangoes, just limes.
And guava.
And guava. And Emsol was coconut. So whenever we want to drink coconut, we go to Emsol, just cut a tree. We didn't climb it, we just cut it. And drank only.
All you had Limier, man.
Well,
You cut a
You and
whole-
Vincent, you and
days,
Vincent, you and Vincent had Limier.
yeah, boyhood days, man.
You just cut a whole tree?
Yeah, I just cut a whole tree.
I can
Those
imagine-
very
I-
tall
I-
trees, and we,
I can
half
see
of them
Vince.
used-
I can see Vincent in Melvin's shop. They're laughing now, you know.
Why?
And
He remember all those
and
things.
Kelvin say, and he's saying, Kelvin, you forget that one, you know, you forget that part. I can hear him saying that.
I can imagine. Yeah,
Where all the fellas so terrible, man.
You mean you cut a tree
Just
Just
cut
to
the
just to
tree.
get a coconut?
yeah. That's what we would do.
Wow.
Well, that's Safa Kini
Limier, man.
Limier.
That's just boyhood days.
Boyhood days. Boyhood
But
days.
one thing, we were not stealing people's things. We were not cursing anybody, swearing at anybody. We could not be rude to any senior person. Like, for example, the carnival fire. I saw the people running. I was in Cork Street, you know, right by Pizza Hut, they call it.
Yes.
Tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old were you, Kelvin?
63, I was 10.
And you saw that?
Yeah, I didn't see the actual flames or those things. I saw smoke. I didn't actually see the bodies or the people running. But I was too small to go to see for myself, because all the adults running would just pick me up by and bring me back. Now a child would just run towards the fire. Nobody would even bother with you. After everything cooled down, then I went on the scene and I saw all the pieces of
Flesh.
skin and the rope and those things, but I didn't actually see them in that engulfing flame.
That was a terrible day.
1963, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
25th of February 1963.
Yes.
And you must read the book about it by Irvin Andre.
I have the book. I have the book. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yes.
You can, if you want to find out everything on the fire, just do you need probably the first or two paragraphs, or not paragraphs,
Chapters.
chapters, but the one on the fire. I think it's captioned fire.
Fire. It is
Yeah.
called. It's called Fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very
Red book.
interesting. You're right.
That's a red book. I have it
Right.
myself.
Very interesting.
Yeah. No, Kelvin. Growing up in Roseau, going to country. What was the country life for you?
I only went to the country once
Wow.
with a friend of mine. He lived in the same yard with me. His name is Justin Willie. He's in the States. Only once I went to the country,
Which country it was?
and that was La Plaine. I think I spent 2 weeks in La Plaine. No, was it? Probably about 2 weeks. Yeah, that's the most. That's why I said I never carried fig. I never had to,
So you never cried to come down Roseau?
No, man, that was like going overseas. Like the first time I went to Guadeloupe in 74, I traveled. No, I don't think anybody had gone that far. Like me. To me, every day I could talk about that. When I saw Guadeloupe compared to Dominica, it's like going to New York now.
Wow. And you were a young boy
Yeah,
at the
young.
time.
Could I advance you a little bit?
Sorry?
Yeah. Knowing very well, I heard a lot of people talk about your life.
About who?
Your life in the politics business.
Oh.
What about that, Kelvin? How did you get yourself?
Well, it's a long story. As a little boy, I used to frequent a group of men, and they were all freedomites. All of them were freedomites. I still might remember Judas, who used to fix the bicycle on the riverbank.
On the riverbank,
All
yes.
these guys who frequented that area there, they were all freedomites. Most of them, majority of them were port workers. So here it is, as a little boy, I would go by Massy Force to buy their frozen joys for them. I'll get an extra. So if I buy 5 for them, tell me take 1 for myself, so I'll have to buy 6. Went to buy their beers, their cigarette, everything. So I grew up in that setting, and they were all freedomites, and they believe in Miss Charles. That's how I got to know Miss Charles. As a matter of fact, it was an article I wrote about her in the papers. And she called me and she told me, I saw what you wrote about me. Do you have GCEs? I said, no, I'm doing it right now. She said, okay, I'll pay for it for you. Just like that. Man, and she had seen me already because I worked with a lawyer, so she knew who I was. But in those days, I had no communications with Miss Charles prior to that. And then in the Freedom Party, I think the only other young person in the Freedom Party at the time was probably Lennox Honey Church. So we decided to form the Young Freedom Movement in order to attract the youth or bring the youth forward, to support the Freedom Party. And we saw what happened in 1980. We had truckloads in those days, a lot of trucks and no buses like now. Truckload, dumper loads of young people supporting the party, and that's how the party came into power. Yeah.
Give us a clearer view of you deciding along with Lennox the establishment of the Young Freedom Movement.
I don't know what clearer view I can give you, because we just, in those days too, there were no social media, so young people wanted a place to vent.
I'm talking about going to the countryside, having to meet people, having to explain what your policies are, having to understand your party policies and how you go out there.
No, the seniors did that, but we as young people, we were more into the good time, and we just know we supporting the party, and whatever we hear them say, we would just say it. That's what it really was. In those days, we were not as articulate as young people of today. No.
You then became the first president.
Yeah, I was the founder of it.
Founder and president of the YFM.
YFM for years. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was also a member of the city council too for 7 years, and I left. I didn't want to be mayor. They wanted me to be mayor, but I said no, because I was begging the government to do something for me in my ward, which is goodwill, and probably they did not have the money. I do not know what the reason was. But I said no, I'm not continuing in the council.
No. As president of the YFM, of the Young Freedom Movement, you would have been approached, maybe to start through the process of being a senator. That ever happened?
No, I was never approached. I was told that they wanted to make me a senator in 1980. As to why I was never appointed, I do not know. But as president of the Young Freedom Movement, I had a lot of influence in those days, because the merchants of Roseau, they all look up. Most of them were Freedomites. So if I want a truck to take us anywhere, a vehicle, I'll just call any one of them and they would give it to us. And people saw me as in leadership of the party, and things were not too bad in those days. Though I didn't get anything from government, they were not. Michelle wasn't the person that would just give you things. I know.
Did you find your life there interesting? Because obviously, seeing because most people would see the might of that young freedom, it was powerful. You had people like Ossie Walsh, your bon Jean, up to now.
Oh yes.
With that party movement, to set up all these different political branches around the country with this dynamic young people. First time they're seeing a young party movement like that, and the Young Freedom Movement pushing for the policy of the party, because it's young people. And bon time, girls there, boys there, action galore. You leading that foundation, that Young Freedom Movement. How was it for you? How did you feel it?
How would you compare somebody like Benji, Triple K, or what's the other, Signal Band?
Yeah.
The equivalent of that. That's the only way I can explain it. These are the people the young people look up to.
But at that time, they looked up to you.
Oh yes. We had branches all over. There was a time we decided we did not want a certain group to take over the youth council, and we had all our branches registered, and we were able
to control.
To some extent. Yeah.
You have me laughing at one. He's talking about people like Pierre Charles and his people.
Right.
From Mackenzie. I was part and parcel behind it as a young boy. But I know it was people like Mackenzie and Pierre Charles. I think Pierre Charles was the president once upon a time Even
Yes, he was.
still,
Yeah.
while the Freedom Party were in power,
Yeah.
you know, the might of Pierre Charles was something to be felt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and
So, you're talking about the National
Youth Council.
Youth Council, National Youth
I
Council.
remember. Oh, Kelvin, you was behind that, man.
And Neva Shillingford wanted
Neva
to be
Shilling-
part. Neva Shillingford
I
was
remember.
part and parcel of that, you know.
Instructions were
But
given.
Kelvin and Bosso and maybe I'm not so sure if Alvin Thomas was part and parcel.
Were
of
he
it.
listening?
I can remember if Alvin
But Bosso
was.
was and
Alvin can give you a message. Man.
not much Ozzy came into
Ozzy
the
came in
late.
after.
Yeah, Ozzy came in late
He
into
was
that.
president.
Yeah, but
certain time.
Kelvin wasn't an easy force, you know.
Yeah, he's
I can almost say that Eugenia Charles listened to him,
okay.
you know,
Whatever, he was very powerful.
in terms of the young people.
young people.
Oh yes.
You know, Eugenia Charles listened to him.
Oh, yes.
And,
Yes.
mean-
Well, you felt the might of his organization.
I was part and parcel of a very powerful youth organization in the Labour Youth Organization. But when we saw the growth, and we were always wondering how did the Freedom Party were able to
Attract these young people.
attract these young people to
Yes, because of the YFM.
yeah.
And
You know,
my
I'm trying to not my,
efforts.
I'm trying to wonder how the YFM was able to do it, you know, to get these young people.
Yeah.
They were able to scout
And they
them.
were powerful.
Look at it this way. Anything we wanted. If I wanted a carton of beer, I could just call. It's a certain businessman in Dominic, I just call for that. Anything we wanted
One
to
for
go
sure,
somewhere,
you could call Gary Ed how you want.
Oh yes,
yeah.
Gabriel, the both Gabriels.
Yeah.
Or these people were behind us, Stafford, Chillingford, and you know anything we wanted, we could call these people.
Yeah. Kelvin, you enjoyed your life as the leader of the Young Freedom Movement? Did
Oh
you?
yes, those were great days. Man.
These were the great days.
Alvin Thomas said the YFM is what kept the Freedom Party alive.
Oh, he called you then?
He sent a message. He sent a message. You know.
Well, in 1980, we were directly responsible for getting the Freedom Party elected.
Norma Joseph said YFM was the best young political group. We learned a lot and was exposed to so much.
We met every week.
Met with so many other Caribbean groups. At that time, as we are saying that, the YFM used to be in more or less involved with the Caribbean
Democratic.
Democratic.
Then we had YFMs in Sentusha. That's how they call themselves, YFM.
Yeah.
And we had St. Kitts, Sentusha, Antigua. As a matter of fact, 6 of us were invited to Antigua's independence.
I remember the
All expenses paid.
I
We
remember
could drink, eat what we want.
I remember the Freedom Party with the YFM Kelvin on 2 occasions. One, I was invited to go to Barbados. I went, not as a Freedomite, but I went as a representative of the Labour Party and met those groups. And the second time, Dame Eugenia Charles sent me to Washington to get a Jerry James, that's his name, from Marigot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, Jerry, I think, was the president of the YFM. Yeah. So I had my share of fear politically with the Freedom Party. Not that I was a member of the Freedom Party, but out of exchange and respect.
We had lots of exchanges.
Yeah, you know.
St. Kitts.
Okay. Yeah,
Sentusha.
they were very formidable. Very formidable.
Very.
Under the banner of that our friend here,
Kelvin Francis.
Kelvin Francis.
Yes.
But life was so different
Yes.
in those days. Yeah.
And
No
then-
social media. You had to find an outlet, for the young people.
Yes, and so you then scout people like Ozzy Lewis.
No.
You know?
Ozzy
Ozzy Walsh, sorry. Ozzy Walsh, you know, and a few other young men and women, you know. Sonia herself played a great role in that
Sonia
process.
Williams?
Yes.
I can remember Sonia was in YF. Her sister, Glenda.
Glenda, sorry,
not
Glenda.
Sonia. I don't
Yeah,
think
Glenda,
Sonia was.
Glenda. Yeah.
Yeah, you enjoy your life. It was very interesting politically. Very interesting.
Now, Calvin, let me ask you about Steel Pan. I know that you were involved in Steel Pan.
Very much so.
What did you play?
I played the first band, the tenor, and the bass.
First
My
band.
first band was Bishaw
Ah.
in Upper Lynn, next to where Father Franklin Coffey was born or raised, whichever one. I know him from there. From Bishaw, we went to, I think we changed the name to Olok Steel Orchestra. From there, I had my own band in Astocats. You had the year of Astocats. People always talk about Chocolate County. but Astocats was before Chocolate County. And because of Mr. Maynard, my friendship with him, he was the manager of Astafan. Astafan sponsored the band, so they gave us a key to their yard where the wholesalers and the supermarket. So we practiced inside there. Our pants stayed there, so we practiced inside of the yard. Astocats came to, and I don't remember what caused us to stop, playing steel band. Or what brought an end to Astocats. From there, we started Chocolate County. I was the leader. Errol Emmanuel was the arranger. Again, from Mr. Ed, we got sponsorship and we started Chocolate County, and we were forced to be reckoned with in those days. In those days, when you played steel band, bass or first band, you were Benji or one of the, what do you call it, Shelly?
Yeah.
You were like that in those days. Yeah.
So the
No,
first
no.
band
When you play the first span, you would have to compete.
All the melodies.
You would have to compete with Alan John Baptist. Wilfred played double
Wilfred,
tenor.
they had their own.
Yeah, Wilfred played double
Well,
tenor.
he could play first band too.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Alan more or less focused on the first band.
Yeah.
So you would compete with people like Alan, Afimate.
No, it was before my time.
Afi was before your time. Yeah. So who would be your competitors?
Well, we had Alwyn, Badwill in Point Michel. You remember the Point Michel steel band?
Yeah.
That was I think there was another steel band, that gave us.
Fantapan?
Not so much Fantapan. It was very small.
Okay.
Yeah. But we were the main band in Roseau at the time, Chocolate County. Chocolate County was in the 70s,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It went up till the 90s after the death of Errol.
No, man, before that.
I-
We practiced, we are KFCs.
I
That's where
played
the
I
band
played
was.
with Chocolate County. I know I played with Chocolate County in those days. I played guitar.
Guitar band.
Yes, I played guitar, and it would
I
have
cannot
been
remember how long it
it
lasted.
would have been in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In the
In
no,
90s.
Chocolate County was in the 80s.
I played no. I played for Chocolate County before KFC came there.
Not even in the 80s. Chocolate County was probably in the 70s.
No. I tell you, I played with Chocolate County with Errol as my arranger. Errol Emmanuel as my arranger.
In the 90s, you said?
Yes, I played with there's a young lady called Lauren in Ministry of Foreign Affairs. A number of us, I'm trying to remember the group, young people in the 90s with Errol as our. I wish someone would be able to send me the date, but it was in the 90s. Just when Errol was killed, that's when Chocolate County actually went away. I mean, we
Think
were,
so?
Yeah, I know so.
What?
I played in Chocolate County. We used to play where the Arak house of the cinema is, in front of the cinema. We used to play right there in front of the
That's
cinema.
where the
Bible Church.
Panyard was.
No, the Panyard was where KFC is.
Okay.
That's where it was. But we did, we did play quite a lot, steel pan in that area. If you make your research, you will get that information.
Let me ask you, Kelvin. As a first band player, the girls were all around you.
Bass and first band.
But basic girls will be around you.
Bass, they love
Bass,
the bass.
let me tell you.
They love the bass, I can tell you.
I wanted to
They
play
love it.
bass, but I don't know why.
How many
The
bass
arranger never allowed me to play bass.
How many bass bands you had?
But
How many?
6.
6, I think.
Yeah,
I
6. Can
You
you
had
imagine?
6?
Yeah. You have to get the A and the A sharp and the B and the C and they're behind you and you have to.
So on
You're
Carnival Day-
stylish too.
Yeah,
When
you
you
have to be
play,
stylish.
it's like playing I play the alto sax. It's like playing the alto sax. Nothing prettier than that,
Yeah.
a saxophone.
Yeah.
So Kelvin, when you coming down on a carnival Monday, with them 6 drums behind you, but the girls pushing their pan? Or?
Oh yes, and the thing is, anytime we had wooden floats, steel and wood. So anytime there's a breakdown, my carpenters, but just name it, everything would be fixed right on the spot. Where they got nails and hammers to fix those things, I cannot tell you, because without that, no carnival. You have no music. So fellas volunteer to fix that, and they fix it right on the spot.
So Kelvin, how are you dressed on that day?
We used to have, I think, probably a T-shirt, a t-shirt and our pants. I can remember it was jean or whatever it is, but probably a t-shirt with our sponsor's name on it. Yeah, that's what.
Let's
happened
carry.
was.
Let's. I mean, the telephone has been going all night. Let's take a caller for the first time. Good evening.
Kevin, which one of the Olo you explained for? The first Olo for the second or to the pistol?
I think it would be the second Olok. I know who's talking.
No, because I prefer the one if it was my captain. I was playing this.
No, it wasn't your time. I don't think it was in your time.
explain
I
it
know
like
who's
that.
talking.
I explain it like.
Yeah. But this guy who's talking there, there were three or four of us who used to meet in Kennedy Avenue in those days, what they call it, Four Corners. And there was this guy, Rupert Evans, whenever he's walking down, would just touch him on his back and just say, my boy. And there's no way he could go to his home without touching another person and saying the same thing to them.
Wow.
So they'd run away from him so he couldn't touch us.
Wow. I like that. Well, 6 wickets down already, right?
How much the score?
180 somebody.
What?
Yeah.
That's
So
quite
184 for 6 actually. We just saw.
Must be 18 for over 19.
That's the 18.4 overs now. There's a guy's on the hat trick now, and we saw Hetmeyer still batting at 36, but we saw Russell out for 9 balls, and Rutherford that's his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, he out for naught. Yeah. Now Holder is batting, so we are just 186.
Will we
Sorry,
get
184
100?
for 6 in 18.5 overs. So Weston is not doing bad, not doing bad.
Will we get to 200? You think?
I still believe we'll get 200 in the last over. I still believe so.
Okay.
No. Kelvin, coming back to you now. Carnival, are you a carnival lover?
Oh, very much so. My mother loved all my mother's brothers and sisters were carnival people. And I took it from my mother, and I have a daughter who probably loves it more than my mother and myself. Sharon, whom Cecil would know.
Yes,
Yeah, Sharon loves carnival. She doesn't miss a carnival. She goes all over in America. Wherever there's carnival, Sharon is there.
So Sharon's like her mother,
Like, no, like a father.
like her father.
Yeah, Iris.
Her
is not a
mother
carnival
like
person.
good time then.
Iris is not a carnival person.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right. No. You. I think
I had my own band too in 70s. Prison of Kashba, we call it.
it is strange. It is strange that someone has not called us yet for the night to tell us all about Kelvin. Vado.
But she's listening.
It is strange that Vado hasn't called yet. Good evening to you, Vado. 7 wickets down, right? In the 19th over. One guy took 4 wickets I'm not so sure the name of the guy. That's next. But some 4 wickets went down. So yes, Kelvin. So you said that you're a carnival lover. How much of carnival that you participated in already that makes you believe that you're a carnival lover? What have you done?
Since I started running carnival, because in Rosa, little boy, 6-7 years old, we ran carnival, We were not outside late, but during the day, would follow the band. And since that time, I've been running carnival. I have seen carnival. I've been to carnival in Canada, America, St. Thomas, St. Croix, England.
Wow.
And I love my
you
carnival.
love carnival.
Have you been to Antigua's Carnival as well?
Yes, I have been.
St. Lucia?
No.
Okay.
What is the comparison between the carnivals that you have seen in other countries of the Caribbean and
Well, the one I like the most is England. England, not Caribbean. This idea drinking a beer, or drinking a paper bag, because I'm not for that. America, it's no. Give me my English carnival.
Wow.
Yeah,
Can imagine.
What you like about it?
it's almost the same like ours, just that the route is bigger, plenty bigger, and if you get lost, you'll find your way back because you can ask any policeman for direction or ask people, But it's very very easy to get lost in England Carnival. There are certain areas, once you pass that area, if you're not from the area, you might think you went straight ahead, whereas you made a right turn and you're not aware. So you're trying to remember where you came from. You're going to and the roads are blocked. when I first started experiencing carnival in England, in those days it wasn't like today.
Now, Kelvin, let's go now into another part of your life. Business. You know a businessman, and I can see that in reference to the business that you do, I don't think that you thought that you're going to go that way.
I always saw myself that way, and you know who can prove that?
Uh-huh.
Mrs. Maynard. She's still alive, Charles Maynard's wife. I always told her I would be what I am today. I mean, I'm talking about in my teens, I was telling her that. Yeah. And you know who I give credit to for that? Well, the foundation started with somebody like Mr. Brian Allen, Justice Brian Allen, his wife, Mr. Maynard, Mrs. Maynard, yeah, Mr. Lawrence Correa, Eddie Lambert, these people, the influence they had on me, Mr. Michael White, because I started working at the NDFD when I left Bello, because I was the regional salesman and local salesman for Bello, and I started working in the NDFD, visiting, NDFD started because there was a need for providing assistance, financial assistance to people who wanted to start small businesses and did not have the collateral to go to the bank to get a loan. So the NDFD started, and we were giving loans, not just giving you loans, but we had to visit the project and then write a little profile on the business, take it to the board of directors. I did all that. But we had a manager, Mr. Lawrence Correa. He was here 2 years ago. And when we went wrong, he was actually showing the people where they were going wrong in their small businesses, especially people with shops, chainsaws, and those things. And that's where I got the knack for it. And when in 1984, I wasn't working. Even the Freedom Party was in power, I never got a job. I wasn't working. And I just decided to go on my own.
Wow.
In 1984, I think it was March 22nd.
What you first went into?
I went to Guadeloupe. I bought a can, some biscuit, mince, and those things. Came back, sold it the same day. The same day. And then I went every week to Guadeloupe from that time. And then I started going to Puerto Rico every month. Now, I haven't been to Puerto Rico for the year. Things are so...
No. In the, I should also say the score is 186 for 8s.
19 point.
And 19.4 overs, just two more overs. I was trying to say that we were going to make the 200 look like it's almost impossible. The West Indies is really a team that really has a lot of surprises in it, you know. So yes, Kelvin. So you started very small. Should I say as a hawkster?
No, because I only did it one way.
Oh, you only did it one way. So you
one
didn't buy
way.
things and bring across.
What I would do is I would go to Guadeloupe on Wednesday, pick up my stuff in Portsmouth on the Thursday, and from Friday to the Tuesday following week, I would be buying the francs from all the guys used to bring their francs. The people going to Guadeloupe to bring it for me, just leave it and come back for their money. I had no problem if not one of them. All of them trusted me.
At any given time in terms of business that you an individual who would have purchased, as far as I understood, someone told me so, that you would have purchased things like colas to be sold to government.
Yes, that was Public Works.
Public Works.
But I purchased colas because I was cheaper. I was getting it from Venezuela. I went to Venezuela to meet the people. And the only reason they bought from me because I was a lot cheaper. They investigated it, everything to see, because the competition, I think it was West Indies. Was it West Indies Oil? There's another company bringing it in. And they couldn't believe I could sell colas that cheap. So that's what I sold for a few years. But once a year, people thought it was, it was a regular every month I was bringing. No, that wasn't the case. And it was taken from me during the reign of the Freedom Party.
I wonder why.
Why?
I don't know.
Someone said that Lawrence Cora is still alive.
Yeah, he was here 2 years ago.
He was
I
my
with
he was
him.
my first boss,
Yeah.
and the person said I sold Kelvin car to an early student of Ross University
Oh, I know.
to raise funds for Kelvin. It was over $50,000 or over $5,000. Is that it? Said?
We went
Over
to sell a car.
$5,000. Yeah. Yeah.
We went to sell a car.
Yeah.
And I know who's who said we went to sell a car. So I planned to take, how much was it? $4,000 for the car. Hello?
Yeah, yes, I'm listening. Yeah.
$4,000 for the car. So I told the guy to make an offer. He told me $7,000. I tell him I just took out five. I tell him, look, do something. You take that $500 to probably do something on the car.
Mm-hmm.
And when the guy paid us, we started running because we didn't want him to change his mind.
I like
Yeah,
that.
I'll
Kelvin.
never forget that.
I like that.
Yeah.
No,
It was a Ross University student.
student, that's what the person said. Yeah. No, Kelvin. In reference to business, I know that Darlene was Darlene anything to you?
No. She was the auntie Mr. Brian Allen. That's how I got to know. When I worked with him, I was always going to the shop to buy cigarettes. So I was very close to her. So any little thing she wanted done, she would ask me to do it for her. So that's how I got close to her.
Okay. Now someone asked me to ask of you in reference to your billboard outside of your business place that you have a phrase or phrases given every day. How true is that?
Yeah, that's true. Every day I write something on a board. I ask to where I got the idea from. I do not know. I've been doing it for probably past 4 or 5 years, and there are lots of people, tourists and all. They take pictures and put it on their Facebook page, on all of them on their status. Lots of people do that, and they look forward to it. For example, I'm going to change it tomorrow.
What are you going to have tomorrow?
Yeah, people are going to pass and ask me for it.
What are you
When
going to
is
put
the new one
tomorrow?
Huh?
What are you going to put tomorrow?
I haven't decided what I'm going to put, but I'll have something for tomorrow.
How do you get that inspiration?
Well, you have Facebook, you have so many areas that you can look at, what you call it, billboard, funny billboard quotes and those things. Yeah. Well, lots of people look forward to it.
And the individual told me that they just like it.
Yeah, before I used to make grammatical errors and spelling errors, but I was advised by a lawyer friend of mine. He told me, because of the school area, don't do it. Because the children, passing there and they're reading that. And some of them the kind of things they used to say, that man cannot speak English, he doesn't know anything about it. What kind of grammar is that? But it was deliberate.
Give me one that you remember.
How I spell congratulate. Some people don't. How it goes? Because they, oh my gosh, I had one last week. I think I remember that one. Instead of chocolate, I had cholocate, and the other one was, what was the other word? I have it on my phone, and I said, I am sure you did not realize you made a mistake. When they went over it, they realized it's not chocolate, that was a cholocate. Yeah, there was another
just
two
plain
words at the
in
time.
the mind.
Yes. 2 words. If I get it on my Facebook page, I would tell you some of them. I have one that said, why is vitamin B so complex? Yeah.
I like that. Why is vitamin B so complex?
Yeah.
That's one.
Well, many of them, I've done hundreds of them, and I've saved all. Yeah. Very interesting, some of them.
Are we
I've
talking
now
about
seen the
business?
picture of Jerry Alfred,
Uh-huh.
schoolmate, condolences. Yeah.
Jerry Alfred.
Yeah, Baffin State.
Oh yes. Yeah. I didn't want to say the name because I like to have things confirmed. Yes. Yeah. Jerry Alfred from Baffin State. That is the brother of Julian Alfred.
Yes.
Brother has passed.
Yeah.
From Baffin State.
No, Kelvin, in your
Yes.
business, I noticed, did you sell motorbike tires or motorbikes? What did you?
I'm
I
still
see.
selling motorbike tires and bicycle tires and tubes, bicycle parts. I'm still doing that.
All right.
Oh, here's what I had last week. I still have it on the board, Cecil.
Mm-hmm.
Due to the increase in temperatures, we will no longer be accepting money carried in your bra. And the other side of the board was never forget the old shoes that transported you to buy new shoes. Read it again, you will understand.
I like that one. I like that one.
Lots of
That
people.
basically can tell you, do not be ungrateful. Basically, that's what it's saying to you.
Oh, here's
do
the
not be
one, the
ungrateful.
chocolate. Between cholocate and contragulation, not congratulations. Which one did you read wrong? Be honest.
Very interesting.
I like
Until
that.
they would go back and read and still say chocolate and
Chocolate.
congratulations until I point out to them, spell it. Yeah,
They're similar.
yeah.
Yeah.
And never compare education with intelligence. You can be having master's degree but still be an idiot.
I must. What I'm going to do, Kelvin, whenever I get a tongue, I'm going to make sure I pass by your shop to get
some of
those
these things,
those-
man.
Every day people pass there and they look forward to it.
Mhm.
I've seen so many of them now. As I said, I saved all of them.
Now, let me ask you, Kelvin, would the yard propel you? Because you said earlier on, because I listened to you attentively, and you spoke quite a lot about alcohol, cigarettes, sweet tea, ice pop, ice cream, loga. Did any of these things, while growing up, propelled you today to be that kind of businessman that you are?
No, not at the time. Not at the when I worked with Mr. Brian Allen. I think my initial introduction to work on those things, that's why the idea came about. And that's why I told you I was telling Mrs. Maynard, who was also working at the office, that I would be what I am today.
Mm-hmm.
And she's still alive to testify.
Now you are in Dominica. What really propelled you, Kelvin Francis, to remain?
In Dominica?
Yes.
Well, I'm from Dominica. I love my Dominica. I have no intention of going anywhere to live. I have no problem in Dominica, so I have no reason to go anywhere else.
Now you also worked with Mr. Brian Allen
Yeah.
for a number of years. What did you do with
I
Brian?
started Brother Raymond Lawrence, Philogene. Raymond Philogene, you know, the Christian brother.
Yes.
I got his job when he was going to become a brother, I think. Here he left and I got his job as a messenger. From there I learned to type. I can type with all my fingers without looking at the keyboard. And I wanted to do shorthand. But at the time I said, if I do shorthand, people will see me as an anti-man. So that's the reason, and I'm regretting I didn't do it. And that's how it started. And from there I went on and I was educating myself. I love to read. And I had a column in the newspaper. I wrote for the Star on a weekly basis. And from there I got a job paying me 3 times the amount of money I was making by Mr. Brian Allen. Not even 4 times the amount. And then I left and I went to work with Mr. Norman Roll. I had 2 gas stations. I was in charge of 2 gas stations. The one where Suki is at Newtown and the one on the riverbank. And then I went to NDFD. Bello first and then NDFD.
You're the rich pass in business.
Oh, yes.
I have a greater understanding of business. That speaks volume of who.
And I would advise
You
any
are.
young person, anybody going into business, do not fool people, take people's money and don't do what you're supposed to do with that money for the person. Don't fool people. I've never had that problem. Never once. Anybody come to make noise with me for money, I did not pay them. I may not agree with what you charge me. I will tell you, but if you insist that's your price, that's your price. Yeah.
But Kelvin, you have a very colorful life, it looks like.
Yeah. Oh,
Can-
yes.
Cannot imagine just seeing you. People seeing you on the government road, just a small business, just figure that's just an ordinary guy.
But when I look at my life, I always felt I should have been a missionary. You know why I say that? Because of the amount of people that I help. You won't believe how many school children I'm paying their school fees for, who I'm helping with books, who I'm helping with this and that. I'm just helping people, young children, old, the elderly. I'm a lover of young children. When I say young children, 4, 5 years, 6 years, and the elderly. I just love this people, and I do a lot of that philanthropy work.
No, let me ask you again. I think I tried to hint earlier on, didn't get a clear answer. You were never interested in party politics, representation?
Not really. I never saw myself as being a representative, because I don't believe that politics in Dominica can pay anybody unless you're rich. You have to have your own means of survival to go into politics, and you have to be careful because it can bring you down too. And I'll be honest with you, what they pay politicians, that is not money. I still believe politicians should get 2 salaries. The parliamentary salary, if they're minister, parliamentary representative, and they're also for the, how you call it? The ministerial salary and the parliamentary salary. They should get 2. And one of them should be tax-free. Otherwise, you know what happens. When people get that taste of power, you have to award a contract, and then that person you give the contract to has to give you 5,000, 2,000, 10,000 in it. Yeah, that's the corruption. That's where it starts. So I believe they should be well paid, and no room should be allowed for them to be corrupt. And you still get it, but...
And you still do not have a feel to get into the political arena?
Oh, no. I am a freedomite. I don't want to say I will die a freedomite. I'm still a freedomite.
I like that. Yeah. I like that. So, okay, I know that you do not want to be involved in politics, but if your party calls on you as a dynamic person in reference to the youth, would you see yourself making yourself available to your party to be the leader of your party?
Oh, no, I'm too old for that now. Oh, no, there's no way. I don't think my family would support that anyway. Yeah, it's too late. It's too late.
When you say it's too late, it means that you had the intention.
And I had my fair share of it. Look at a simple thing like the city council. You think it is right for people to be paying, having a house in Roseau, whether it's a butcham, and paying $3?
No, it's not right.
I've said that before. That's not fair. And nobody wants to take it up to change the law. Why should I have to sell your property? Or I am not able to sell your property if you're owing taxes because you're not there. I cannot serve you for notice.
Well, I can tell you, I'm Kelvin. I know as former mayor of the city of Roseau.
Why discuss that with you,
I made those recommendations.
Nobody's willing to listen. Even my party.
And for those recommendations to be accepted, the minister has to approve.
Yeah.
So we always had the problem of the people not paying their taxes or not paying their rates. Let's put it that way. And the law makes provision to take them to court. You know?
Yeah, but you can take them to court, but you do it like when you're doing a class action, you bring everybody together. You have to get the Attorney General to make an ex parte application to the court. The person can come in and pay at any time. And here what the penalty is, 24 cents for late fees. That's nonsense. You can't run a country like that.
Yeah.
A city like that.
So it has to be amended. It must be amended.
Yeah.
I think I'm hearing talk of the reform. I've been hearing that for a while. I've been hearing talk about a reform. If you are asked by central government to be part and parcel of a reform body, would you accept?
Oh yes. And you see the littering all over the place. Oh, I have a problem with that. And people just put in derelict vehicles on the roadside. I have a big problem with that.
I can imagine. I'm Kelvin. You know, that people like you who are outspoken, that sometimes people may not want to be, you know, in agreement to some of the things that you would say. But I can understand what you're saying. I can
ask
understand
Mr. Florian how many times I've spoken to him about it, or Mickey Morrow. Just ask them.
Former councillor, a dynamic leader, youth leader.
You know, when I was on the city council, I was the only time they were able to collect enough money to pay their salaries and the expenses without having to rely on central government. You know
Okay.
why? Because I was taking the people, as a councillor, I was taking the people to court on behalf of the council.
Okay.
I got the government at the time to appoint a magistrate to deal with city council cases. I had Mr. Damian Grell serve the summons. I did the summons myself. Mr. Damian Grell would serve the summons and we would go to court. I don't think we ever tried a case. Everybody settled before. But there was this lawyer who said that the bailiff could not be paid. His salary has to come from the consolidated funds, and I think that's what that kiboshed the whole thing. So we never continued.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
That's food for thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
And
good
the law
information.
says that even after you have advertised the property, even after you advertise, you can even advertise the properties for sale because you have to serve a personal notice on the owner of the property.
You never had a mind of yourself thinking of being a lawyer. Never crossed your
When
mind.
I worked with Mr. Brian Allen, when I was living, that was discussed. But in those days, again, it's not like now. If I want to be a lawyer today, I can be. All I have to do is just meet the requirements, maybe as a, how they call it, mature student or whatever. Whatever I have to do, the means are there to do it. But in those days, you only had 11 lawyers, in Dominica in the 70s. 11 I can count.
Let's go.
And all of them
Who are
were,
they?
I remember the two Jupini sisters, the two Amos, Mr. Lockhart, Mr. Beausoleil, Mr. Liverpool, Eustace Francis. Who again?
Roland David.
No, Roland David
We were
was.
still studying. You're studying in England.
Yes, so let me see. No, I don't think I would not call him. I think he was. I'm not too sure. Yeah, Mr. Degaso, and there are two more.
Was what about Mr. Harris?
Harris was there, yeah. And who again? Mr. Keith Allen, Brian Allen.
Brian Allen.
So
yeah,
that's it.
yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Let's see what that person has to say. Good evening to you, caller. Sorry about that. You have to call back. Let's go back. Good evening to you, caller. Good evening, caller.
Yes, gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening.
Mr. Francis, yes,
Yes,
very
sir.
interesting program.
Is it?
Applaud you for that.
Very interesting program. Thank you.
Very interesting program.
Oh,
Applaud
thank you,
for
thank
that.
you.
Because one of the most touching areas is the cadet situation, where you still have a witness. This guy being dispersed from society. You're a very great guy. But number two, when I'm listening to you, there's something that you said that went unanswered. Who took away the cola deal from you? Good night, right now.
Who got the colas deal, he said?
He said, "Who took the colas from you?"
It's on under the Freedom Party, I lost it. I did that about 2 or 3 years ago. It's not it was just once a year. People think it was a regular monthly thing. No. And under the Freedom Party, it was taken away from me. And I was the cheapest on them. You know who they gave it to? Julian David.
Oh, okay.
But I have to say, thank God to Mr. Nesty, because he was the one. I didn't have to. He was the person I went to. He was in charge of public works. I gave him my prices, and he said if I can compete and I'm much cheaper, and not only that, if I bring in the colas today, this month, take me months sometime to get my money. Months.
Let's go back to the telephone. Good evening to you, caller. You're live.
Yes, I'm calling back again. I think I had some interruption when I was just ended. I was asking Mr. Francis, who took away the colas deal from him? He said he lost the colas deal.
Under the Freedom
When
Party?
he came, yes,
I do not know.
He said he was selling colas. He got colas from Venezuela,
Yes.
and it was imported once a year. Then you said you lost the deal. So I was asking why and who took away the deal from you.
I
That's
cannot
what I
tell
wanted
you.
to know.
And it wasn't colas.
All right.
Sorry, we kept saying colas. It was oil.
Oh, all right.
Oil. It wasn't colas.
Okay.
It was oil.
Well,
If it
Okay,
was
then.
Colas, I guess it would be every 3 months. But
Yeah,
at the time
that's
I
what I
lost
wanted
it,
to find out.
nobody could tell me. All I was told, they
Okay,
have
no,
somebody else.
I was more or less concentrating on colas, not oil.
No, it was
Sorry
oil.
for that.
Oil.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Because I
Okay,
tried
good
to
stuff.
sell to
Thank you.
Domlek and Paris Williams, but Paris Williams took from me, but not Domlek. They said they had to be very careful with what type of oil they were going to put in their generators, so they could not buy it. I would have to a lot to prove to them, and if something happens, can they claim anything from me? So
No.
that's why the Domlek never bought.
Well, the Australia is batting. The score is 12 for 1 in 2.1 overs.
That's good.
Yeah, so that's good going so far. And now, Kelvin, you have found yourself in a situation where you said that you are a freedomite,
I am.
and you said that you do not pay no interest to politics.
No, I wouldn't say I don't pay any interest to politics. If something is wrong, it is wrong. If it is good, it is
No,
good.
no, that's not politics.
Well, that's how some people see it, because once you talk about what's happening, people feel you hate so and so, and that's why I say that. For example, look at that. The Yes We Care program, I think it's a very, very good program. I don't like the way it is utilized, the way they're implementing, but the program itself, I think it's a very good program. I'm not ashamed or not afraid of saying that, but let me criticize something else. It's like you hate the government, you hate the Prime Minister. I'm not in that kind of nonsense. Prime Minister has never done me anything, so I can't hate the Prime Minister. No way can I do that.
Okay, I think you're saying that the administration of the program that you do not like. What?
Yeah.
Tell me what in the program that you think that you do not like.
Let me give you a recent example.
Yes.
I was taking care of, well, when I say taking care, doing a lot of things for 2 people. One died. I asked them to continue with the other one. The other one's case is even worse than the one that died. You know they didn't continue? The same house, the one who died, that one was over 100. Yeah? Just helping out of my good heart. And they didn't continue, no. And the other person is the one who wants the help.
Just let's hold on a while. Let's go to the telephone. Good evening.
Sorry, no, wrong number.
Good evening, caller. Good evening.
Yeah, that's DBS.
Yes, that's DBS. You're live.
That's the question they're asking about the money.
What money? No, we are talking to Kelvin Francis.
Oh, sorry.
Welcome. Yes, Kelvin, you're saying?
Yes, I was telling you about the program. And long before that, I've been hearing certain things. I cannot prove it, but I've been hearing. But my case is a glaring example, you know, of what is wrong. One of the things that is wrong with the program. You cannot tell me you're helping the 100 and odd year old, and the other person in the house is even worse off than the 100 and odd years, 100 plus years old person. And you're telling me that you didn't continue the program? The same person could have just continued. You moved the person elsewhere.
Okay, that's what you're saying. All right.
Yeah, that's all I have to say.
No, Kelvin, in reference to you as a businessman, what kind of areas you think that other people like yourself need to see greater assistance in widening your business base?
Well, I don't want to widen anything right now. I passed that age group where I can go and expand. But what I think should be done is all the people, if I were in government place, I would call up all the people who have small businesses and those who have ideas, bring them together and see what they want to start up. I don't believe in giving people money, 5,000 grant and let us find out what equipment, what machinery, what you require, you know, to start a business. And I would help you. Of course, they have to be viable. This business is people could just come with any idea. I would have the experts there to guide me and tell me which one they think that's viable. And if I can help them, I would help them.
Okay. Now, as a businessman, many people tend to talk about international airport. Now, an international airport is being built. What's your view as a businessman in reference to an international airport?
Oh, I am for the airport. I am for the airport because remember I used to travel every week before. I did that for over 10 years and then every month for over 10 years again. So I'm in an airport and I've had to sleep out in hotels because my flight was cancelled overseas and I sleep at airport and those things. So I am for the airport.
I must say though, Kelvin, that looking at you as a businessman, but before I go with my question, let me just take that call quickly. Good evening to you, caller.
Good night, Cecil and Mr. Francis.
Good night,
Good
sir.
night.
I just love your discussion as a businessman. I've been listening to you for a while. I'm one of your customers. Maybe you don't know me, but I know you. But you said something a while ago. You really make me wanted to call without disrespecting anybody or any program. I've been saying this very same thing you said there for a while because I'm a small business person, local manufacturing. And I've been saying to the government, at least the leader of the country, he put funds some areas for small business, but it's not going well because a lot of business people suffering. So I was telling him he as the leader supposed to call a meeting with the business people, small business people, to find out their problem. And I get a lot of bashing for that, just for saying that, and people get upset. Some of them almost get high blood pressure. Just a bad education, I think, of what is happening. And I've been telling the Prime Minister for the longest while, the level of support he have getting as a politician, I don't believe anybody have get that type of support on the ground. He's supposed to use that to more unite the people because Dominica is too small and the world is closing in with wars and all those problems. We're supposed to be seeing much more of our own development. And I think sometimes we go out a little bit too control by just these people and them that support him. And
Caller? I'm not so sure what happened. Looking on. So you can call again, caller, to give us your continuation of your discussion. I should just say to you, Kelvin, that the West Indies looks as if they are doing well. They're continuing the runs from the guys. It's 26 for 1 after 4 overs. So that's good going.
6.
Yeah, that's good. Very, very good, I must admit, so far. So yes, Kelvin, I was saying to you as a businessman, what do you make of the various wars that we are hearing in Russia, and Ukraine, and Israel, and Palestine, Israel, and Iran? What do you make of those wars and its effect to us here in our small region?
I don't know what effect it can have right now, but I cannot support what Israel is doing to these Palestinians. I mean, this is really genocide. You cannot be killing people that are coming for food aid, and you still have people supporting that, nations supporting that nonsense. I cannot support that. No way. Russia and Ukraine, that is their war. I think it's unfair for one country because you're more powerful to just come and invade another country and want to take away its lands. I don't support that nonsense. But the war in Israel, I think that war, Israel and the Palestinians, I think that war should have been set long ago. Israel should have withdrawn from the occupation and bring back things to normal. Look at all that genocide and all that destruction. You think that is fair? I'm not condoning what the Palestinians did, but by now you cannot kill 60,000 people for 1,000 in exchange for 1,000.
You speak like a real politician, man. That's the my purpose of those questions is to get your political thinking, and you speak like a
I can
politician.
support nonsense.
And what about us in the region? Are you disappointed that we have not been speaking loudly enough?
Oh no, the Caribbean governments, it's a club. Right now, you support your brother is in power. If the opposition takes over, you're going to turn around and support him too. That's what's happening in the Caribbean. They all support each other. Nobody would come out and say, well, that is wrong. Look, so and so.
That is telling. I like how you said that it's a club, but
a club.
other people think differently. That it's about ideology, it's about belief. It's
They
about
all think alike.
fraternities.
They're all the same thing.
You think so?
Yeah, they're all the same.
What's the difference between now and then, in terms of ideologies of various governments in the past? In the past, we would say that we know that Tom Adams is a capitalist. We know that Maurice Bishop is a socialist. So we know that Team Hector was a socialist. We would say that we know we could identify people in the region. What do you now make of what you are seeing?
To me, they are all one and the same. They are all capitalists and they're all looking out for themselves, their pockets, because all ideas cannot reside in just one person's head. It's time that we learn that we have to, and where is the people you have to blame for that? You have to blame people for that, because people go back and they do the same mistake over and over and over and over again. And people some of them are so, I don't want to use the word stupid, but I do not know how they think. You cannot tell me a man is going to take away something from you and you turn around and tell me that is right. For example, I do not want to use the examples, because as I said, I don't want to go into the politics. But there are too many things happening in the region. And we tolerate it. When we are in power, we accept it. When we are out, we say something different. Yeah. Look at Trinidad. Most recent example, there was a state of emergency in Trinidad this year. The state of emergency was removed. The new government came in, they put in, and I hear in people on the opposition side now, when they were in government, they supported the state of emergency now. Some of them are against it. So tell me, how do you view a turnaround?
One of the things I must say, Kelvin, in terms of Dominica, looking at the Lakou period to where we are now, that there is a great level of growth among the people, among the social strata of Dominica. What would you say about that?
Oh yes, that is true. From time till Mr. Leblanc came into politics, we started seeing the changes. The people are, is there still a Lakou in Roseau? I wonder.
No,
I don't think there's any Lakou in
I like
Roseau.
that. I like that
right
question.
Now,
yeah.
people have elevated themselves, and when I think of who is lawyer and doctor today, in the 70s, these people could never even reach close to a university from out to becoming a lawyer or a doctor. Look at the Cuban scholarships, the Americans, people going to the US to study, England, all over the world. They didn't have that in the 70s. Your family had to be rich for you to go to England to study. There's no way you could do it. And even some of them, when they went to England, especially law, they did not even do the degree. The legal education certificates is what they did. Because of the cost, I think.
I think the government of Dominica at the time, I think in 1983, thereabout, actually gave a scholarship, I think, every 2 years to a Dominican to do that aspect of it, the legal education aspect of it. So that was a good foresight. So you're saying that they did not do the first degree?
No, but I'm talking about the 60s and 70s.
Oh, okay.
In those days. Right now, you cannot be a lawyer without doing the degree.
Let's go to telephone quickly. Good evening.
Hey, Cecil, what's up?
I'm fine, man.
Right, cool. But you were asking how many different questions. But one question I expect you to ask him: what he think of the state of the economy? Let him give his own personal mind about it. So I think that's very important. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
You want me to answer that?
Yeah, you asking the question.
Things to me are very bad, very bad. Imagine government taking 6 months to pay me a $300 debt. I mean, that is a sign of something drastic that's around the corner. Things are just bad in Dominica. For me as a business person, I'm seeing it. I did a lot better in the 80s than now, especially 88. A lot better in the 80s than now. So I cannot agree things are good in Dominica. Too many things. And it's not just these big projects, We need, there are lots of, look at the state of Roseau. Let's do. If somebody comes to me now and they tell me, Dominica doing well, I'll tell them, okay, sure. Let us just take a walk around Roseau. Just take a walk around Roseau and you'll see how well Dominica is doing. Look at the, well, I don't want to use the garbage. Garbage is recent. But look at the derelict vehicles. I see they have a program going on right now to remove them. I hope they continue with it. But things are terrible. The government cannot meet the expenses, the expenditure of the country. They haven't got the resources. The passport thing is dying off. And when we had all this money 10 years ago, we wasted it, and now we're seeing the effect of it. It is so glaring to see that things are not that good in the country.
That's your view, right?
Yes,
That's
it
your
is
view.
my view. I was asked.
As the caller said, he's asking you your view.
Yeah, things are not
someone
good in
else
the
would
country.
call. Someone else would call
Yeah,
and
say
would
something else.
tell you something different.
Yeah.
Will give you reasons and rationales of as you make mention of the CBI. They could tell you some of the things that the CBI is doing versus.
Look at where my business is. That is the most visited area in Roseau by the tourists. Take a walk from the cruise ship berth to my shop, or in front of the Catholic Church, and you'll see the state of things. I mean, that's.
I'm not looking for any excuses for anybody. Okay. The guy asking for Dominica, I have found myself understanding the region, and I have many friends in the region of all kinds, and they too will say to you that the economy is dwindling, and so you'll find that it is a rippling effect. One, we don't have population in terms of the population that we require to see money turnover as we would like it to be freely. And two,
our GDP is the lowest in the Caribbean.
Yes, it might be so, and you have to look at remember the GDP is the gross domestic product.
Yes.
Right, and there are a few things that we require to help in creating our GDP.
We had the means, but we didn't make use of it.
What does it
mean?
mean?
We had the means when we were doing well with the passports. We didn't make use of it. There are lots of things we could have done. I mean, Roseau should never be in that state. Never be in that state. I've mentioned it to how many current ministers. I even think the Prime Minister. No, I don't think I mentioned it to him. But at least, even if you do not want, you cannot do Roseau right now. But at least do a little paving, you have blocking holes here and there so that people can walk. Tourists come on a wheelchair. You cannot even pass Jolly's way. And you're telling me that's development. Kennedy Avenue is probably one of the worst in Roseau. The sidewalks and the drains in Kennedy Avenue. By Cherry Lodge Hotel around there, that is terrible. That's why when you were mayor and you were trying to remove the people from selling on the roadside, I supported you. 100%. Right now, what do we have now? Every street in front of tobacco factories now are like a mall. People just opening businesses on vehicle, parking the vehicle, leaving them there, and just, I don't know. Can we develop like that? What is going to happen to Roseau in time to come? I mean, too many people everybody's just blocking a little spot on the road, government road, and opening a store. I mean, we have to put an end to that. In the longer run, people might say, let the poor person eat, but in the longer run, we are going to suffer. We're going to regret it. Look at you. If your program had continued when you try to remove the people, Dominic, Roseau would have been a much better place. Yeah.
Well, the question was asked to Kelvin. and Kevin give his opinion. All right, so I know people are going to have their views, and so each person would give their views, but you give your view as a businessman, and I think people should respect that view, not to try to debate what is right or what is wrong, but that's just the individual view. And I appreciate your response to the question that the individual gave to you. Now, Kelvin, when we look at Dominica, and as you said, the graduation of the Lakou and the way that people live today is totally different. How do you help others to become stronger in reference to be the person that they want? Because you said earlier on that you knew that you're going to be who you are today. How do you make others understand their vision, their dream can become a reality?
Well, that's not my responsibility, but if somebody approaches me, I will definitely tell them, give them advice I can give, the best advice I can give. For example, I have this thing about cigarette smoking. I used to smoke, but I stopped it long ago in the 80s. And when I see young boys smoking, I always tell them of the dangers of smoking. So that's one of the things. And I assist people wherever I can. You know the number of people coming to me for help, for medicals, and just name it. Just name it. School, there was a time I had 10 children in SMP I'm paying their school fees for. It have some I do not even know. And look, this year I have about 7 to pay for. But high school now, and probably 2 in St. Martin's School, and I do not even know them. So that's my little contribution. That's why I say I should be a missionary because of the work I do. No, that is probably my
or the conviction of the church.
Not so much the conviction. I just like to help people. And I do it all the time. All the time. Family members, friends, you don't know. You don't know. I cannot go into detail right now.
No, I want to go back a little bit to your siblings. Yourself and Pafeli were tight.
Very.
To help us to have a greater understanding of the kind of bond that yourself and Pafeli had. I say had because Pafeli is no longer. She has since then passed. In 2016, I think it was?
Yes, 26th in December.
Yeah. Tell us, because I grew seeing yourself and your sister and the kind of love that exhibited among you all was beyond.
The thing is, between all my paternal side, my father's side, all my sisters and brothers look up to me. I help all of them. Not one can say that I've never helped or I have stopped helping. I've helped all of them, so they look up to me. And my sister Pafeli, from since she was a little child, a little girl, I remember days of Harlem and Kensborough. When she was a Kensborough fan, I was a Harlem fan. Whenever I came from the football match, I always stopped by her. I would give her $1, 75 cents for her, 25 cents for Lupu. So we had this bond, and Paferi was a very beautiful girl when she was young, very. So I was always close to her, and she's named after my grandmother, Pafeli. That was my grandmother's name.
Oh!
Yeah, her father's mother.
Pafeli?
Yes,
I
that's
thought
where the name came from.
I thought Pafeli was a nickname,
No, her
name is Gloria, right?
Gloria.
Right.
Pafeli, France. She was named after her grandmother.
Pafeli is a middle name.
Yeah.
I never knew that. I thought it was a nickname.
Yeah, so I'm very close to her. I'm close to Frances, close to Mano in St. Thomas. Patricia, I'm very close to Patricia, the one in Antigua. That's Ines' sister. Yeah.
I mean, I remembered, yourself, and you used to come and see your sister practically every day.
Since she died, I've stopped going anywhere. Once from my work to my home, home to work. Unless if I go to a funeral, I have something to do elsewhere, I have to go elsewhere. But otherwise,
man, that was a bond between yourself and your sister.
I used to help her very well.
I used to wonder, why.
You think she was alive? Well, her house could never be how it is right now.
But that was a special bond.
It was.
I felt I had to say that. And also Frances too, eh?
Yeah, same thing.
Frances came and lived Bavistate afterwards, and
I'm still close to Frances. Very close. All my sisters and brothers from my father's side, I'm very close to. I'm close to those in England, but I'm closer to those by father.
And that is good, you know. I mean, when you can see men and their relationship with their female siblings, it speaks volume of their and their family. You're
Yeah.
married, right?
Yeah, I am.
You're married, yeah.
Yeah, and my children were they were very close to Pafeli.
Mm-hmm.
Pafeli was the main person, and Frances, the others overseas, they did not know them that well.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But everybody is Pafeli, anti-Pafeli, anti-Pafeli. Yeah.
Kelvin in Bath Estate. Kelvin and the Bronx.
That's where I got my first house. That's where I went to live in 1982.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I lived
How
in
could I
Bath
forget
Estate
that?
number 6.
Royal Bank Housing Scheme.
Right.
We call it the
We
RBC.
got our keys in May, and we got water on the 3rd of November that same year,
Mhm.
1982.
Wow. I
Yeah.
remember that. I remember Kelvin Francis living in that house, close to Zappi. And your good friend, your good friend of
Zappi's on the
Zappi.
other side. I am, yeah. Zappi's on the inner lane
Mm-hmm.
with me.
Right.
But I am number 6 from UAP going up Shirley. And who was it? Patsy, Colmore Christian, and then myself.
The Colmore Christian was on the same
Same
side.
side,
if you-
Colmore
yeah,
Christians
it was
before
the
me.
same side, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on where you're passing, you know.
Yeah, well, on the main road.
On the main road, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Very nice community though. Where you all.
Yeah.
And you had Mr. Martin, you had Larocque, Mr. Zappi, and the Warringtons.
Right.
Yeah, that's very
Most
nice.
of these people are still there, you know.
Yeah.
A few of them have died, but
Yeah.
they're still there.
Yeah.
Look, Mary is back.
Yeah, I saw Mary, police
Yeah,
officer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so she's back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're a real community man, I must say.
Oh, yes.
You know, very committed to the community.
Even my
Good-
church and the community, I help. Yeah,
Good evening. Good evening.
Hey, Cecil, good night again.
Yeah, I don't know what
Cecil,
happened.
as a XP
Hold on. I want to know first. Your lost credit?
No, my phone didn't have an issue. That's the
Oh,
problem.
I want to make sure because I don't want people to think that I cut you off.
No, man, I don't blame you for that. I'm
Thank
at
you.
different levels.
Thank you.
Mr. Joseph and as a past councillor and Mr. Francis, if the representative of Rose who call early for a meeting, ask for the vendors on the sidewalk and a little bit more sanitation for Rose, what would all the advice to her? Because I think there's many little simple things as Mr. Francis saying that can be done, you know. Even in like getting the dogs off the street, I know you do that some time back, like you get a place. Let's say by the garbage heap, you build a nice home for the dogs and you have people taking care of them because you know you have the animal rights. And even the homeless people, building a home for them and giving them the right treatment like a human being. Simple things I think can happen, you know, immediately. Because even for the independent coming up, like washing down the street and the drain, I mean, you have technology now, you can put a water pump. I see Darryl Tipper do some work after the hurricane, similar like that. Young men from Bath Estate, Pottersville, with pumps by the bridge, washing the dust of the road. So those two things, something like that can happen, like you get these big black containers with a generator, and because you don't want to use up too much Gawasco water. I think, Mr. Francis, and you're saying something right, you know, you seem like a very innovative person because I remember sometimes in the 90s, Stabex sent on a program training small business people. It was a European program. I think Mr. William, former president, he was director of that. A couple of us get training there, like I think Sabre Mackenzie, that's why you're doing paper towels. Heaven Sent from Granby, Miss Winston Husbands, couple of us. And you seem like a very innovative person, Mr. Francis, that you could run a program for some young people. But Roseau, this is something we have to take, like I said, and we have two neighboring islands to us, Guadeloupe, Martinique. I think we're supposed to have a more stronger financial exchange with Guadeloupe and Martinique. I think Guadeloupe and Martinique are supposed to have a branch, a financial branch at the Bayfront so that the people can, because we financially weak, you know. I mean, I've been selling on the roadside for a few years in Roseau and it's getting worse and worse. It's like you can't even pay your bills and you invest there. So I think that is one of the things, and I think the parlor itself supposed to get down and get to people like you and Cecil, because I've seen all you have the ideas and it don't take much to do it, you know. Have a good night.
Thank you, caller. Thank you.
Yeah, the PAL rep. for Roseau to call me and ask me for my advice or wants to put me on anything to do with the development of the city, I'm for it. Country comes first. I'm not in this politics business because it's that side and that side. This side I am not going to take part. I'm for it. For example, here's something. I mentioned it to the FS. I mentioned it to Mr. Reginald Austria when he was there. I mentioned it to Mr. Blackmore. Who else? Again, so many members of government. You see this no parking, this police reserve parking. I'm saying make us pay for it. And if we are paying for it, you give us a number, police number, traffic. If anybody parks in it without our permission, we can call them to report the person. Or do like in England.
I was about to say that.
You give us tickets.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to park in it, I put a ticket, date it, put the time, so if the warden or the police pass in, they can see how long it's parked there, and then you know much
England
money.
England does that well.
Yeah. So at least charge us. But you cannot give some people have 4 or 5 parkings. They don't park, in the parking because it will affect their business. They go and park elsewhere.
So, Good evening.
Yeah.
Hi, good evening, Cecil.
Good evening.
Hi, this is Eva Francis calling.
Hey, Eva, good evening to you. You have to call your husband, I know that. You think I won't sell you out, Eva? He's doing well.
I realized that. I'm just calling to tell him that I'm listening. I'm glued to the TV. I'm very proud of him, and he's doing very well. Okay? So, that's what I just want to say to you.
Thank you.
I told her she would fall asleep before the end of the program, so she's probably calling to prove
she has to
that
prove something to you now.
She hasn't fallen
Well, I
asleep.
intended at the last 15 minutes of your time to speak about Eva, but she called. So as much as she has done that, let's talk about her, your wife. She has to be another person on your side of development.
Oh yes, it's very special. I always said if I have a problem with I cannot take it to the public, I'm going to lose. The only way I can win is probably in a court of law. There is her appeal, there are so many. Remember, as a teacher, there are so many children who look up to Eva and people grown-ups. You think I can ever go? Who will believe me? Nobody would believe me. Nobody. I tell you, I would lose that one. It has to be in a court of law to have to win a case against Eva, but not in public domain. I cannot, because I think the majority of people would support Eva against me. Her personality,
Yeah, she has a very nice
being
personality.
a teacher, being involved in the church.
Soft-spoken.
Eva has a natural appeal, man, to the young people and the elderly. There's no way.
Wow.
And she's behind me in everything I do.
Right, that's important.
Yeah.
That's really, truly important, that you have to have a strong, good person behind you, whatever you do. And your relationship with God is also important, and she's a believer.
Oh, maybe I'm a follower, but she's a believer.
I like that, Kelvin. You can be phony, man. Kelvin says that you might be a follower, but she's a believer.
Yeah.
Which one is stronger?
I believe the
Believer?
Believer. Eva is a strong Catholic.
Boy.
In the faith.
I know. No. I can say the West Indies, Australia is 78 for 3 out of 8.1 overs.
It's a 64.
Yeah.
9, so 9 runs and over. That's about. They're still within range.
Yeah, still within range.
So I calculated it.
Yeah.
That's how simple I made it.
Yeah. I mean, all of us who would I say it? Those of us who went to the old school.
Yeah.
When it looks as a 4th wicket go,
the times table.
It looks like there's a 4th wicket down. Muti taken a wicket, I think. Yes. 78 for 4.
You know something we
8.
never talk about?
Mm-hmm.
The war between Roseau and Pottersville.
Kelvin, you said that you're born in Newtown, and you lived in River Street.
Yeah.
And just across of where you live would be Pottersville.
Right.
I don't know how I forgot that. It's a good thing you mentioned.
When
that.
I say war, we would send stones
there was
from
war.
across the river.
Yeah, there's war.
Yeah, just send it.
Yes.
Just send stones wherever it lands. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And they would do the same thing. Well, they were not vehicles, so nobody's vehicle ever got damaged because of that. There were no vehicles on the riverbank anyway. And in the evening, they would do that more sometimes in the day too. And another thing, the famous thing was the canoe. We would bust who have the louder shot. It's like we were bombing in Pottersville and they do in return the same thing to us.
We used to hear quite a lot of that during.
Common.
That was used to hear quite a lot of that during the Christmas time.
Yeah.
In especially in from the Pottersville area. There was more from the Pottersville area into the central part of Roseau.
Yeah, Pifstow Street.
Yes.
Right at the end here by the riverbank.
Yes. By Miss Library, by my library there.
A little higher up.
Yeah.
On the
by the Josephs.
Right, higher up than the Josephs. Yeah, where the other road.
Yeah. By the Charles
there was this big tree there and there was no wall. There were no river wall in those days. But on the Roseau side there was a river wall and there were steps that you could use to go down to the river.
What about the literal fights during Carnival?
I was never a fighter. I was never involved in fights as such. No, fighting wasn't.
But you were one of the persons that would have sent your big stones. We call it Lakou wash.
I was never into that type of thing. The thing with me, most of my friends, they were more skillful than me in terms of cricket, football. You find I would play draft, Chinese checkers. I would beat them on that. You know?
The mind games.
Anything along that line, you know?
You stopped playing drafts?
I haven't played draft for a long time. The problem with draft, if I see people playing draft, I do not want to stop because I could stay the whole day watching them play, especially if two strong players. Well, years I haven't played draft. Years. I learned to play chess, but I was never a master at it. I just know the moves. I even had the chess books. I think I can still read the moves because you can write every move in chess, you know. Yeah, you could write it, the bishops, the queen's bishop, and you have the king's bishop, and the pawn, and what move they made. If the king's bishop, you know which bishop they're referring to. You know.
Let's take another caller quickly. Good evening.
Hello, good night.
Good evening.
All right. I'm pretty good, young Kello.
Yes, good. That sounds like my partner Jermaine.
Yes, I've been there calling there.
All right.
Yeah, Kello, let me tell you, I born in 15 River Street, you know, where the defense force there, they actually the defense force there, you know that?
Yeah, well, I witnessed it.
Yes, okay, and let me tell you, Miss Olive was what to you again?
Nothing, she was just the owner of the land where we lived.
Oh, okay, boy, Miss Olive used to have ice cream every Saturday and Sunday, especially Sunday, boy, that was the best.
Oh, I remember Dr. McIntyre being a famous customer.
Yeah, man. Anyhow, I listen to all your very good programs.
Yeah. We were talking about the shooting of the defense force.
Yes, I was about to ask you about what you saw.
I saw it. I saw the people running, and when I ran, you know who was together with me at the time? He lives at Baffert State, right after my house at Baffert State. Blaze.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
Two of us running, we wondering. But what scared me was when I saw them surround the house, because that's where I used to bathe. To go to work, they had a pipe in there. They allowed me to bathe in their yard to use their bathroom. So I thought it was the defense force guy that was living there at Chong. He was married to Mary. So I thought he was the problem. He was the one they were going after. So I got scared. When I looked, I saw Benji coming out from the house. And that's where he was shot.
You saw Benji coming from the house?
Yeah, he was coming out, walking down the step, and then he was shot and he reached on the road.
You would have seen who did that.
I don't remember. I remember the person who shot him the last time, while he was on the ground. But I couldn't tell you who the other people were.
And you don't care to tell us?
No, I cannot. No, I wouldn't. He's dead, right? Anyway, he's dead. The person who gave him the last shot is dead. Yeah.
He had no time to say anything to the.
He came up. I think his hands were up in the air, surrendering, but. As he reached on the pavement, I think he was shot right there, and somebody walked up to him and shot him again.
Wow. So he got more than one shot?
Yeah, more than one. I saw that.
And it would have been from the police?
You had defense. No, it wasn't defense. It's police alone. I think it was police.
Yeah.
And those days they had rural constables with them too, eh?
That would have been terrible to look at.
Oh, it wasn't anything nice. We were down by Sammy White.
Mm-hmm.
Sammy White was the last a bakery. He had the other bakery there by what they call him? Ma White, I think. Ma Sammy.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I think, who other place there now? There's this guy, he died. I forgot. It's Waiki, I think they call him.
You're talking about where the restaurant is?
Right.
Yeah.
Right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we're standing. And there was a character, a man lived called Mawson, who used to help her
Mm-hmm.
in the bakery. But this guy couldn't speak anything in English fluently, neither in Creole. So he'll tell you, Mwaka going at my home. Mwaka Ali at my home. He just nothing he could say in just English only or Patois only.
Wow.
Mawson, he was well known. And you had characters like Simbot. And the way they picked up rubbish in Roseau before isn't like now. You had no bags. People just pour the rubbish on the ground, and they had shovels. The guys with shovels would come and pick it and shovel it onto the truck.
So let me ask you, Francis.
Jan Jali.
I'm going to come to that. Let me ask you, when the guy got shot, what did the public say at that time?
Well, we were fired. Don't forget where that happened now. We was more than probably 200 yards or 175 yards away from him, so we couldn't go up there.
But you would have seen. You would have seen.
Well, I can't remember how long after we did. I didn't reach. I didn't even venture to walk towards that. I think we went about because they were at the time chasing down the people involved in whatever disturbance was taking place at the time.
What would you think about this in terms in your own conscience, right or wrong?
The way I think it was wrong. Looking back at it, it was wrong. But at the time, remember, I'm a member of the Freedom Party. My party is in power. They tried to overthrow my party, so I'm not as sympathetic as one would expect me to be towards the guy. But looking back at it right now, it was wrong, the way they went about it.
Especially as you said that his hands was up.
Yeah. Up or not, he wasn't armed. He didn't threaten anyone. But I think it's a form of revenge, maybe. I mean.
Yeah. So we were talking about Jan Jali and some of the characters
Jan
in the
Jali,
area.
this man. People who do not know Jan Jali, they miss a lot in Roseau. Because this guy, we thought he could speak Spanish, but I understood that he wasn't able to speak Spanish. He kind of from afar, Jan Jali would Lakou, and there were other words he used.
Well, they used to call him Lakou.
Lakou,
Yeah,
and
they used
I
to call him
can't remember the
Lakou.
words. I'm thinking in Spanish. They said he was in Santo Domingo and he came back here, making us believe it's really true. So that's how that was the bell, That's how he was the bell for that. So once you hear that, you have to put out your rubbish because Jan Jali is coming. And the way they advertised meetings before in Roseau, I do not know if you remember that. There was this man.
The bell?
Yeah, with the bell.
Mr. Solomon?
No, you had King Fighter, I think they call him.
Okay.
Tall man. He was...
I didn't meet this guy.
Riley or King Fighter.
I didn't meet
There's
this
a
guy.
tall guy. He was living next to Boise there. In the yard by Patrick Jones' mother. Around that area, I think he lived. And there was the shot man, Santo P.
I know Santo P.
Santo P was the one doing it. And they only want to take water. He would go on every corner. He would stand up, bang, ring the bell, and then make the announcement.
And sometimes even when people die too.
Yeah. No, when people die, the thing, what I remember is that when they buried a child, when they were burying a child or taking the child to the cemetery or to the church, there was no motor car taking you to the church. Unless you're from a wealthy family, they carry the coffin on their head.
Yeah.
And this man was famous for that, James Etienne. James Etienne, he was living, he was living in the same yard with Donald Peter.
And can I have it on Hillsborough Street?
You're right.
Oh, okay.
Short man. And he was the main person behind it. He carried the child's coffin. In those days, there were lots of child left,
Yes.
And he carried the coffin on his head.
Hold on, someone's on the call. Good evening.
Good evening to you, Mr. Joseph and Mr. Francis.
My
Good
brother.
evening.
My brother.
Good evening.
you lived in that same hole with Kelvin?
Of course, Kevin was my neighbor once upon a time under the ample tree. His mother, my bro.
Zafama Margaret.
Oh, Tony. Oh, yes. Tony lived there.
Mm-hmm.
He's not in the yard, he was by the road.
Mm-hmm.
But
I was by the road.
yeah,
right
a
by
small house.
Anyhow, it's very interesting, and thank you, Mr. Francis. For letting
Most
people
welcome,
know
Tony.
about-
Up to now, today, Tony is my. If I go to Guadeloupe, I can go by Tony. I can do any. Tony don't even worry for me. Tony is my friend.
No, but I mean, it's like you see me, little child, walking up and down, and we raised up together. From
Raised
that,
together.
from River Street, Kings Lane,
Yeah.
go back, they're all about. So it's nice talking about the city and letting people know what was the city before and what is the city right now. I'm listening. I'm watching and I'm listening.
Tony,
Good night.
Tony,
Yes, sir.
can I ask you a simple question?
Why not?
Were you in the fire of 1964? Sam Digua?
Of course, I was in the fire. I was a baby. You
thank-
two was in it.
I'm happy you're saying that. You know why?
You two was in it.
You know why? Someone who thinks that he was my father, someone who thinks that he's my mother, someone who thinks that he knows more than me, says to me that myself and Tony was in no fire in 64.
Of course, I was about 3 years.
Right. And I was about
When
1
they
year.
took me- when they took me and they threw me over Mrs. Winston,
Yes.
Winston's wall
on King Avenue.
on Kennedy. No,
On Kings Lane. Kings
On
Lane. Kings Lane. That's what I want to
The
say.
fire
Kings Lane.
happened in Burn House.
Right. Long
Where
house.
Pablo is right now. Where
Yeah.
a Muslim store is right now.
That's correct. I'm happy. I just ask you so. I just ask
Yeah,
you
they
so
threw
the
me-
person.
I can remember they told me they threw me over
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Winston house.
Mhm.
Wall. Mrs. Winston, Mr. Winston. The
Mhm.
Winston family. That's where they build them.
Yes.
So it's like it's burn house. It was burn house. It was everything.
Mm-hmm.
Just one of days, we were happy. Everybody was good. Everybody was one. Everybody was looking for one another.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But right now it's something different.
Yes.
But I love to hear Mr. Francis speak. And then Mr. Francis is a very nice person.
Oh yes.
From day one, he knew my mom, he knew my daddy, and then he knew my brothers and sisters, and I knew his mother, my brother, up to a time. I can see my brother up in the skip by the anti-tree, and and this is people I had respect for. My Pusu, baby Pusu, Aya, these people, my Molly, these people I had respect for. And I always remember these people because they were the one who raised us up in the River Street. When I fell behind my mother's bed, I was on the bed with my baby Pusu and my brother. They tell me that here because they related to me and say, Margaret's not out of me. When they took me out, my tongue had caught and they was calling me Titi Lang. Yes, so it's like because they used to come and sit down by the road on their little bench.
Yeah.
So those were the days, and they heard me crying, and then they came and they looked for me, and then here comes, and then my father, already, Julian Boom. Problem with my mother. Anyhow, it's nice talking to you all, and I appreciate it. And maybe one day I'll be on your program.
Oh yes, Tony. Whenever you come to Dominica, you'll be. I can tell you because you and I have a lot to talk about. You and I have a lot to talk about.
I know. Okay, Mr. Francis. Good night.
Good night.
Good
Thank
night,
you,
Tony.
Tony.
Okay, I'm enjoying the program.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
But I should tell you too, this going back to this Lakou, the block in which I lived, the people that were living there, there's a lady called Ma George. She was from Montserrat. She sold coffee and cocoa sticks. There is no way you could go to her and ask for credit on your mother's name by saying, Ma George, my mother say, how? Don't they ever use that word for how is a big cow? That's what she would tell you.
I like that.
Yeah, you had Tony and who again? There was a man making leather for shoes. They call him Coco. He was making leather. He had this tannery and he made leather for shoes. And since after that man died, I don't think I've ever seen anybody making leather. But another thing in Roseau, I need to
Before you go, someone said that old John Police was the communicator in Roseau for notifying the public about public meetings and water closures, etc.
Yeah. Okay.
So they give us the name.
There's something I've never heard on the Lakou program. I don't know if anybody has mentioned it. In the market, the old market, there were people selling food there, rice, beans, and chicken or fish. And in those days, it was 3 pence a plate.
Like
So
3
when they
pence?
give you 3 pence here, 3 pence to buy your food. My grandmother used to give that to me very often when she went to pick up limes at Baffin State and she did not have time.
Wow.
3 pence. And you had Ariel, Helen, and Ione.
Ione is your
No, not that
not,
Ione.
not okay, not
Ione
Francis.
was a short lady. She was friendly to a man they call Machistic.
Of course,
Not
is
Machistic.
this the
Not
Majestic?
Machistic.
Oh.
Not Machistic.
Ah.
He was like Machistic. There was another name for him. He worked on the port. I don't remember. But these people, they were famous for that.
Tell us a little bit, as you said, Majestic. Tell us a little bit about Majestic.
Well, I know him as Winston. He used to frequent the same group of men I told you about by Judas on the riverbank. And I know him as a mechanic, but to see him working, I don't think I saw him working that much. He was a mechanic, but he was more a drinker than a mechanic. That's why I can tell you. He was very slim, and he was a Winston.
And what about this guy who lived on Lang Lane? Madison
Augustus.
Yeah, Madison Augustus.
Madison died.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Yeah, I know that
Yeah.
you know about him doing,
Yeah.
quite
Madison.
a lot in reference to mechanic in Dominica, one of
What
the
was
pioneers.
Madison? He was famous for something,
He used to drive fast.
I think he used to do skiing too, Like, they have this long rope and a fast boat would be at the front and pulling you. He was very good at that. Skateboarding or what? No, not skateboarding. Skiing, I think they call it. Yeah, he was famous for that. He was the brother of Curtis Augustus.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like your father. I knew your father very well. And long too. We worked together. Well, after school, I would go down to help my stepfather, who I call Daddy, George Nanton.
Yes.
And your father was working down at the
And the
packing
port.
shed where they were doing the grapefruits,
Oh yeah.
packing the grapefruits to England.
He was a big man there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my father now was, when I say my father, stepfather, he was in charge of the packing. So he made me come after school to help. And the kind of money I was getting, that was a lot of money in those days, making $100 a week here.
Yeah.
Which week? For a few days. That was a lot,
Let's go to the telephone quickly. Good evening.
Hey, Cecilia, Helen was my auntie. I remember her as a little boy selling food in the market with my Ariel and so on. He's correct.
Opposite Copel in Lago, that's where she lived.
That's right. That's my auntie. That was my auntie.
Okay. All right then. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the score's now 111 for 4 after 11.3 overs. The
That's
West
10
Indies-
runs and over.
Yeah, the West Indies is
They're
still
still within.
doing within.
Yeah.
They just have to now contain the Australians. They are also hard hitters. So, Kelvin, tell me what you think of the Lakou program.
I think it's a good program. I listen to it from time to time, but as I said earlier on, I'm a person who goes to bed. Person who goes to bed at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 8 to 9. That's my bedtime. So most of the time I'm listening and falling asleep.
Wow.
As I challenged my wife, I told her she will never be awake until the end of the program.
You better give her something for
she
that.
Has won. She has won.
You said that earlier on, you said that you wouldn't challenge her in the public. So
Yeah. Oh no. No, privately I can do that, but I know she
she will win.
Yeah. 'cause
Yeah.
of a person.
And she proved that tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about tonight's program.
I think it was a good program. I enjoyed it. Yesterday I took pen and paper and I said, let me jot down a few things I would not like to forget. And when I started, I said, no, but in what order can I put it? And realizing that you lead the program, you elicit the answers from your guests. So I said, no, listen, let me forget it. I still have some of it here. I said, the best thing, let me forget it. I will go with the flow. Based on the questions asked, if there's anything I remember, I will jot in with it. Yeah, but I think it's a good program.
Yes.
Yeah.
I enjoyed you tonight. I enjoyed the things that you said. I mean, quite a lot of things that I didn't know, and you made mention of. I'm sure that many people are very much elated about the fact that you were able to bring across. As I read through Facebook, quite a number of people were saying that they were happy to hear some of the things that you made mention of.
Do you know that you could not? People were scared of walking outside of DBS in the 70s and 60s.
What?
Yes, because there was this man, imaginary,
Mm-hmm.
man, he's one leg in the courthouse, one leg in the library. It's just like passing between the two cemeteries.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, like passing between the two cemeteries. People were scared of that. And whenever there was a picture of Zorro, Dracula, and this was, it's very scary. And there are people who took pleasure in doing that, getting the people scared. After the people walking home, and they would probably appear, do something funny noise to cause people to run.
What?
Yeah.
You're telling me that people in the 60s and 70s were not passing by DBS?
No, they were passing, but there are many people who were scared. They would try to avoid passing there. The alternative route is, if you're going to Newtown, the alternative route is between the two cemeteries.
And that's worse.
And they also said by the old market to ERI building, there was this man there too. This very tall man.
What?
Yeah, a lot of superstition in those
and make it worse. Well, in those days, the Catholic Church cemetery was closing by 6, so that you wouldn't pass through. But I know when the gates were open, that people were still scared to walk through the cemetery. Once darkness took place, there's no walking in the cemetery.
Yeah,
I can imagine. But,
no, I went to the cemetery late at night, passed through the cemetery. I wasn't scared of the cemetery. I don't know why.
You're a brave fella as a young boy, man.
Yeah. I wasn't scared of the cemetery. The library had that in mind anytime I passed there in the night. I heard it.
No. Quickly before we go, you remember the Catholic Church Bolga, the corn meal and
the free food that they got from the USAID.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah. I remember it was Bolga and they had oil, clim, and
cornmeal.
It had cornmeal, I think so.
Yes, it had cornmeal.
The Bolga was something like a mix between oats and rice, something like that. I never liked that. I used to eat it, but I had no choice, but I never liked it.
Yeah.
It's like fig. I ate fig from 5 years to adulthood, and I just hate it now. I don't eat fig.
Wow.
Oh no. And I have a few friends that don't eat it too. And I tell them I don't say they fought it. No, man.
I can imagine,
There was this guy who went to England and they cooked his biggest farmer in Dominica and Avondale, they said, from St. Joseph, and he went to England, and when they offered him, they said they were going to surprise him by cooking fig for him because he would not expect to see fig in England. When he saw it, he said, "Why should I be hunted and followed by that piece of misery wherever I go?" He did not eat it. He did not.
I like that.
He did not.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. I really don't blame him. I mean, why should it hunt him?
Hunted and followed by that piece of misery wherever I go. The guy did not eat it. Yeah.
But Kelvin, I really want to say thank you very much for tonight. You did well. The information you gave us was really good. Quite a number of people followed the program. They gave their statements. They made their comments. I'm sure that in the morning, people are going to tell you thank you for the information that you gave them. And that's one of the things that I always tell people when after they're through doing the program, to prove the popularity of the program, just wait the next day. The things that they will tell you and things that they tell you that you forgot, or things that you told them that they didn't know, or things that you reminded them about, You spoke from the characters, you spoke about places in Roseau, you talk about the shortcuts. I mean, police there, volley. I mean, you told us everything tonight.
Yeah, and there are many people who told me, I was yesterday, that looking forward to listening to me. They want to hear what I have to say.
Yeah.
So,
because normally,
I'll know tomorrow, the confirmation will come tomorrow.
Yeah. No, you were very good, Kelvin. You're really, really, really good. Yeah. A guy I really want, and I don't know why he's not coming, Alvin Thomas. I'm trying to get Alvin Thomas for the longest while.
Yeah, you ask him.
No, I can have him on Zoom. But I don't know what's the reason. So Alvin, I declare with you tonight. So
well, you never know, because look at how long you have been asking me.
Yes, and
you mentioned it to me, and look at when I
find you here. Yeah. So I really want to say I'm happy, and the information is good. And I can also say to you, Kelvin, that I normally at the end of the program, get my production department to produce the program, give me the recording of the program and put it on CD. So
Well, I wish you could send it to me.
I'll get your copy for sure. I'll get your copy.
Yeah.
All right. So thanks so very much.
Thank you very much for having
tonight.
me. It was a pleasure.
Yes, it was a pleasure myself. All right. Yeah. Okay, just want to say thank you to the viewers and listeners of the program. The scores for West Indies versus Australia in the T20, the first T20, it's 132 for 4 in 13 overs, 58 runs needed from 42 balls. Wow. It can go anyway. The West Indies just need to take one more wicket, and we're going to see Holder, who has 1 wicket so far out of 2 overs. I think he can help to contain the guys and to help the West Indies to get a victory from the 27 runs that they scored at the last Test match in the second innings. I mean, in modern cricket, no one expects any team, no matter what kind of team it is, to score 27 runs. And I think from captain down to cook should be fired. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a good evening, and let's continue doing well for our country, Dominica. And remember, let us all do well for each other. Let's not find ourselves hating each other and quarreling about each other. Let's help each other to be successful, and I'm sure once we do that, we can have a better Dominica, a better future. Thanks again. God bless you, and have a nice night.
In the meantime, here are some more of the many questions and comments you've been sending us over the past 7 days.
Hi, this is Alan from Perth in Australia. I listen to the BBC World Service on my laptop